of times, segmented, hasn't put together one PB, and Cyclone has a 206, which is actually a really good time. But we'll see what happens as the RNG takes over in this game. Wonder if this is an indication that Cyclone is going to take the Aegis Shield with that name. So, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest any percent. Tournament's been going on now for about a week and a half. And we're going to see one major skip and a lot of exercise in identifying monster formations and trying to utilize what we know to make the best decisions. Looks like Cyclone's already in trouble with an early crit on the Behemoth fight, the one fight in the beginning of the game that you can just lose to, which looks like Cyclone has done. But it's not a difficult fight, it's just you gotta hope you don't get crit and you don't miss 3 times, which is all completely RNG. And so Dark gets out to an early lead. Oh, late crit, but it doesn't matter. So going into the first area of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, the level forest, we're gonna do a lot of so is he gonna go skill or figure? Oh, he is gonna go figure. It's and Cyclone's not gonna do his menu manipulation until I guess he gets Kaylee. So we're trying to get through the stories, you know, essentially, you're the hero, there's 4 crystals, even though, as you'll see later on in this run, we don't care about one of them. And we're gonna go try to save the crystals and then eventually save the world. It's gonna be a lot of interesting partner manipulation. You only have one partner for your character the entire time, so a partner will leave and a new partner will come in, and they're all set in when they come in and when they leave. And they all have their own unique eccentricities, except for the fact that we're actually going to use one specific companion's loadout in particular. One of the interesting things about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is that if you start a new game, it actually keeps the armors and resistances from the character that last loaded your save. So typically what we all have is a save file from the end of the game, which has late game Phoebe, which has a lot of really nice resistances, but has a lot more additional armor too, as you'll see that Kaylee doesn't take any damage. Whereas the main character, Benjamin, just rips all over the place. And we're going to be using those resistances throughout this to get through certain aspects of certain fights that we shouldn't necessarily have advantages in. So, for example, everyone will now have resistance to sleep and paralyze, which is not necessarily true for all the characters. Looks like it's already getting to the point where Cyclone has taken back the lead, even though he died on the Behemoth fight. But here's the Minotaur, the first, I guess, the second boss of the game, and he's actually undead. We can cast life on him and he dies, so we're gonna do that. And so we have already making a transition out of our first partner and into our second one, Tristram, who is a pretty hit or miss sort of guy. He's gonna come in here. We're gonna try to grab some elixirs so that we can cure the poison off of Kaylee, but it's not here in the Sand Temple. So this guy's like, I know where it is. We're gonna go get it. We're gonna go get treasure so that you can actually go get it. So And so now Cyclone is in Bone Dungeon. So Bone Dungeon's, you know, an interesting area for early speedrunners. The boss at the end of this can be pretty annoying. What are we looking for as a good Bone Dungeon from someone who speedruns this game pretty consistently? We're gonna take a lot of these individual monster fights, and we're looking for specifically 1 or 2 monsters in the formation. Ideally 1, but we do want a couple of 2s because we need the experience to get to level 4. We more often than not do not want to see a formation of 3. We can't kill that in 1 turn, so we're gonna try to avoid it by running away. We want, I think, on the order of 2 or 3 2 formations, and the rest being singular monster fights. Yeah, so Cyclone doesn't want to do anything with that 3, so he's gonna leave. Dark is gonna... Okay, eventually, yeah. So Dark is already starting to show that he's using his notes for this run more consistently than Cyclone is, and making sure that he's doing the right inputs. So ideally, we want to kill the boss of this area in about 10-15. A good run will probably get there at like 9:50, 9:45. But I can already see, given how many times Cyclone has had to run away from fights now, it's been like, that's 4 already, that it's probably going to be closer to 10:30. Oh, another 3. That's unfortunate. Alright, so now Cyclone has finished those pair of fights, and now we're gonna get to one of the most important items in the game. That's seeds. He just picked up his set of 3 now. This is actually a time where you're not unhappy to see a group of 3, because what the runners will have to do in this game is actually duplicate the seed. And you can do that by giving the input to the main character to create a seed, and then with Tristram run away from the fight. And so it'll try to give back the seed plus reset the fight states before the fight, and that actually ends up giving you an additional seed. He grabs Quake early. I wonder if he's actually going to use that for the Skull Rex fight. There are lots of different ways to approach this boss fight coming up.
Good evening, Penguin. Sorry for running late.
It's okay.
Yeah. So what did I miss, apart from them starting to dupe seeds and interesting? Either one get trolled?
Cyclone is starting his Skull Rex fight and immediately gets hit with Ripper, so that's a good start. Twice, that's fantastic. But luckily the second time it actually happened before Tristram went, so Tristram actually... One of the nice things about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is that the companions can be left to be auto-controlled or manually controlled, and if you auto-control them, what can actually happen is that they can change their input up until they actually make their input. And so if the main character dies, the companion will decide, actually, maybe I should bring him back to life. And if you bring him back to life before he makes his action, the main character can still do his action.
Very useful late in the game, especially when we're, Petrify, Get a bunch of other stuff.
There's a lot of times when we get to the end of the game and Benjamin is squishy as all hell that it's really nice to be the last person to go and have your companion help you out.
Very, very, very true. Looks like Cyclone's on the last part of the fight. I just hope he gets another run like he had, what? Was it Tuesday? No, it was Monday.
When that was his race against Marsh? Was that the tournament race?
Yes, that was his tournament race.
The tournament race that he lost by 90 seconds in a pretty heartbreaking way?
Yes, I was the one on commentary for that one. For one of the two. Here's hoping he actually gets something, amazing like that again. I just hope I'm not bringing him bad luck.
Well, he's clear of the Skull Rex now. Looks like it was an 11 or 1040-ish kill, which is not too bad, given especially how the rest of that dungeon went. So he's gonna grab some bombs. He's gonna grab the coin on the right, and he's gonna get out of here.
Well, he's also gonna grab the shield as well.
Yeah, eventually he's gonna make a detour on his way out of here to grab actually a couple more things. Because he hasn't grabbed the cure potions yet, so he's probably going to grab the shield and the cure potions on the way out. Dark is starting his boss fight now.
I know I'm personally a fan of, before the glitch, if I need to grab extra cure potions along the way because I want to save time on seeds, if I'm walking right by it, I'll pick them up. Just as long as I have 3 in the inventory at the very end, if it's like right next to me, I'll pick it up, just for the safety purpose.
And so we're talking about grabbing the cure potions now because it actually sets up a major skip later on in the run, which we'll talk about, I guess, in the order of like 30 minutes from now, 40 minutes when it happens.
Depending on the RNG troll.
Yeah, of course, depending on RNG. It's largely dependent on the position of the items that you have in your inventory when you get to a certain point in the game.
Which is really useful that someone found that. I don't know
Dark
about
is now on his final portion of the fight. Looks like the Rip Earth spam starting to happen now with a little bit more ferocity.
Always annoying. Always annoying. So then, are you a fan of actually taking the risk at the very end if you know there's only like 1 or 2 hits left and it's just Tristan?
So I actually, for this fight and for Ice Golem, I actually do count damage. So I have a very good idea of when the skulls should go down. I actually do something a little bit more defensive too, where because Ben's bombs do more damage than Tristan's stars if he doesn't crit, I'll actually just defend with Tristan if he's at like high HP and let Ben bomb and Tristan defend him so that Tristan takes all the damage and doesn't actually doesn't allow Benjamin to fall. Dark's grabbing his bombs and his sand coin and trying to get out of here. Cyclone's got a lot of bombs. I want to see now if he's going to actually...
Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there.
So, okay. I just watched the Speed Gaming stream because I didn't see it when he was running it. He did not pick up fire, so I'm going to see if Dark does that. I know that this is his like first actual unsegmented run, really trying to play this out, so he might stop for fire, whereas most other runners won't.
I know for myself, I'm a fan of it. Then again, it just all depends on your personal preference. I mean, if you can make up the time somewhere else, it's worth the safety, I guess.
So there's very few... When you get down to, like, a more refined version of this one, there's very few places where you're going to need that fire spell. You can do just as much damage with the jumbo bombs, then you're probably only giving up, like... maybe 25 damage or so. compared to casting fire, as Cyclone now enters Wintry Cave. He's going to abuse a lot of Phoebe magic throughout this, because Phoebe is powerful, and she will continue to be powerful at the end of the run.
And in fact, she's our most powerful companion, so having her early is also fun.
But yeah, the fire spell, I personally don't even take it anymore, because after you use your magic, your black magic, usually here in Wintry Cave, you really don't need it the rest of the run until the
RO.
Yeah. So
but I'll tell you, I'm a fan because you can actually do it just for laughs. I found this out by accidentally, just spamming, my spells because I needed it at the very end. You can use fire, and it will do more damage than the bombs during the exit battlefield.
it does, because the squids are weak to fire.
I guess technically, if you are like on the last fight and just you're straight up you get a first strike in, or get to go first, and I guess the last thing is just that and one of the other things. I guess you could just gamble on it, save yourself the reset.
You could, but I mean, you would have to. That would only be good if you could actually remove the Sphinx in that fight, and I don't think you can do that with just straight fire. We'll discuss that when the battlefield comes up. Right now, we're pushing along Wintry Cave.
Yeah.
So ideally, in Wintry Cave, you want to have Phoebe on auto as long as you possibly can. Anytime. So Dark did pick up fire. Anytime you want to put in manual inputs for Phoebe, which will happen. There are a bunch of fights here, especially those centaurs coming up, where you have to make specific commands with Phoebe to make everything work out. But every time you have to go and put in inputs for Phoebe, you lose time. And ideally, you get Benjamin's actions to happen right after Phoebe's actions. That's the other thing that makes a good trip through Wintry Cave, but that's completely arbitrary up to the RNG. So
yeah, but still, I mean, it's worth it, on some stuff, but it's personal preference on that one, depending on what you do. And Cyclone getting close to the boss fight here. Like, what, next screen?
He's got about 7 fights to go still until... You see the squid himself. So this is the... Oh, okay, he luckily got out of confusion right away. But this is the unlucky situation on the left where he just didn't go fast enough and got confused.
I know technically you could switch to the sword for the extra speed, but unless you have something to, equal the damage output, which I guess is technically a point in fire's favor, because you could, have the increased speed, but I don't know if it's worth the time or if it would actually save enough time.
It very rarely does, especially if you can just land the bomb.
I know, the bombs don't miss. Bombs don't miss.
They never miss. They're super good. They don't miss. And for a large portion of this game, they are your primary source of damage because you're under-leveled, you're squishy.
Yes, but you also have the strongest spell in the game. Well, the 2 strongest spells in the game. And we'll get to one of them later on.
So, Cyclone has duped 2 seeds, I think, now, if I've observed correctly, or at least 1. Going into the lead up into this final portion up to the boss. He's gonna probably burn one of them after this upcoming fight, if I've counted his math correctly.
Not sure, as I joined in late on that one, but what's your thoughts on actually duping more seeds than you need if you're really getting bad RNG?
So it actually came up. I ran my race against Couch that was on Tuesday, and it came up where I actually had to dupe one additional seed, but I did it after I knew I had to dupe one additional seed. I don't think you should spend the time duping seeds if you have a very good idea of when you're going to seed and how much it's going to cost you.
I know I'm a fan of at least taking the 1 or 2 extra just as a safety for myself, because I'm still, learning some of the stuff. So I'd rather have, the oh crap, I screwed up. I'm gonna need this type moments, but that's me.
So Cyclone starting his squid fight got the right initiative RNG to kill the 2 birds before they got any attacks off, and now is in arrow bomb spam. Ooh, a crit, that was nice.
And Dark is basically is on his way to the squid fight. He's what, 10 fights, I think?
Again, bombs don't miss. He doesn't care if he's blind. That was actually a really good squid fight for Cyclone.
Yes, it is.
2 crits, a bunch of additional damage from Benjamin, which is super rare because he usually goes down in a heap early in that fight.
Yes. So, if you're actually going to take a safety, what would you prefer apart from the Aegis Shield, or the one that actually takes the least amount of time?
It's an interesting question because I don't run with particularly many safeties left in my run nowadays.
I know, but for us newer runners, what would you recommend?
The most common one, and we can talk about this much later on, because I think everything else is sort of required for the run. Fire is an option. The Aegis Shield is an option, but most new runners will take it because they're afraid of petrification. You get the additional defense. It protects you against paralysis, which is also super important later on. Dark is still working through his 2nd floor of the Wintry Cave as Cyclone now makes his way back to the Libra Temple so that he can go and see if he can find some water to revive the city of Aquaria.
Plant.
Well,
one
okay.
Plant.
So it was supposed to do more than the 1 plant, but we just accept that the 1 plant is all we're gonna get, okay?
Yeah, I think the old man drank all of it and he just gave us like that tiny little bit left.
I mean, how else would you explain him floating on a cloud? Obviously, he's much more spry than we all take to believe, so...
I know there was actually a discussion earlier this weekend, well, actually I think it was, yesterday, about whether or not it was actually feasible, if you didn't want to actually go after the Aegis Shield, whether or not, passing through Focus Tower, you could actually pick up the Venus Shield after the, after the 1 major glitch coming up.
So, because you do get, actually, I think you do get the multi-key as a result of that glitch.
You get the actual Venus key, which would just unlock it.
So, the issue with that is you're never re-entering the entrance that you need to go and pick up that shield again after... So that would be a pretty major detour as we get into Falls Basin, the block-pushing puzzle of the game.
If I recall, it was essentially the thought on it was you pick it up, on your way back with, I think it was to pick up, what's her name?
Kaylee? You could do that. It's probably a 45 to minute 15 detour, and then hopefully that'll help you resist. So the only things that would potentially cause paralysis are, I guess, the Ghidra fight, but in that case, you probably just have Kaylee heal you anyway, and then late game Doom Castle? Alright,
yeah.
So Cyclone got to level 8 with that last fight. He still has 1 more to go before he fights the boss. Level 8 is actually super important going into the next boss fight, Snow Crab, because his pincers will deal about 290 damage at level 7, and at level 7, Benjamin only has 280 health, so it just one-shots him. He needs to have the experience to get to level 8 so that he can survive that 1 attack, and it's actually really important too because Cyclone in all likelihood is going to be banking on, especially now that he's seeded, for sure he's planning on doing this, He's probably banking on Benjamin to do about 500 damage in this fight. So 1 cast of bombs and then 2 whacks with his axe, or an axe and a bomb attack, in order to make it so that he's squishy enough that Phoebe can finish the job with just thunders.
And looks like Dark's just about to his squid fight.
Yeah, looks like he's got maybe... Oh, okay, he's got 3 more fights on his way. So this snow crab, one of the few fights that's about surviving a lot of just pure damage. No status effects, the crab just hits hard. So can you survive that damage and still do as much as you can? It's a DPS race that you typically struggle to win. If, you know, this happens, Phoebe gets confused. I want to know if Cyclone's gonna... He is gonna safety heal. Okay. Fire's not bad. Actually at the point now where, and it might even be better if Benjamin dies, because all the additional frames for all this damage doesn't necessarily help him out in the long run. But we'll see what happens. Might actually get out of... Oh, that's pretty good. So now that means Phoebe's got at least 1, if not 2 additional thunders going into the start of the Ice Pyramid, which is going to help him a lot, because that's going to save seeds for later on. He has 1 left. That's great. He should actually now be... Okay, he accidentally moved right. You should actually now be fine to make it throughout the entirety of this Ice Pyramid and have just enough lightning spells that he doesn't have to make an emergency seed. But we'll see as he goes on. He's going to pick up the 3rd item in his inventory glitch to go, which is the refreshers now, as Dark is working his way through this squid. Oh, nice crit.
He's hoping for some fried calamari. He's only got 8 HP left, but it's looking like he actually might... No.
So that's perfectly fine. Yeah, Phoebe's just going to land 1 more arrow. I think he would have won without the crit, but getting the crit was pretty good.
Very true. Though, are you a fan of when you actually get that really insane, like, okay, you lose your partner just at the last, you know, where it's just like 2 hits, and it's like, do you push for it, or just, you know, okay, just go all out, or when you're like down to like almost nothing in HP, do you just like, you know...
So that decision typically comes from the fact that you have to have some knowledge about how much damage the enemy monster is going to do to you. So if you think you can survive 2 attacks and you only need 2 attacks to go and you think you're going to be faster, yeah, I'll take a chance on going for it. He'd have to crit in order to kill me, so that's a pretty low probability option. Although I think now, if you look at the difference between the 2 racers at this point, with Cyclone being pretty far ahead already over Dark, you might see him do some things a little bit more cautiously, because he has no reason to take overt risks in this race, unless he's aiming for PB, which may happen, given what happens in this Ice Pyramid.
I know I've personally stated that, you know, the way this game is, you have a great chance of, you know, because of how much RNG is involved, at any time seeing, you know, not only a PB hit, a sub 2 hit, or heck, if it gets a really good RNG, you might actually even see a world record happen.
I have tried on many occasions to get that world record. That time is pretty untouchable. 152 is a tough ask.
Unless we can figure out the RNG for a certain location. Or just
talk about later, of course. Yeah, it's just a thing. But even with that, my PB is a sub 2. It is a particular floor. But you still need a lot of fights to go your way in order to have the time at the end, because the difference between my PB and that world record is still 7 minutes, and I don't know where that time's going to come from what I've seen. Like, I can't figure it out.
I can tell you a suggestion. That basically not dying. Just straight up not dying. If you can manage just like less than, what, 5 to maybe 10 deaths to like bosses or something like that, you might be able to make up the time.
Yeah, but you had to... I mean, avoiding death is one thing, but it's also an issue of, you know, how many times you have to go into the menu, how fast you menu. It's
True.
These are those things that add up over the cycle of the race. Cyclone is actually about ready to flip the switch now at a time that's actually pretty good for a reasonable run in FMQ. Hits it at around 30 minutes, which is where you want to hit it.
Yeah, I know my average is like about 5, maybe 7 minutes ahead of that, but, well, not ahead of it, behind that, but still, you know.
Getting a really couple of good sequences of fights where he doesn't have to cast this bomb very often. It's helping him out because it's faster, and it's also letting him save the bombs because he didn't pick up fire for the ice golem fight at the end. Yeah.
If he's really lucky, you know, this is the type of, you know, when you're, you know, getting lucky, just keep it going. Just keep it going. And Dark working on his block puzzle.
So this block puzzle, we didn't talk about it when we were here earlier, but we are actually making a small skip in this block puzzle by reusing one of the blocks. It allows us to dodge 2 fights, which over the scope of the runs, you know, not a lot, but it is, you know, we love going fast, so we'll do it. It involves, instead of hopping to the area to the right of this, going up and around the left side, and you see he's putting the blocks together here. And that just allows us to skip 2 fights and get right to the boss right away.
I personally wouldn't call it more of a skip, more of just creative placement of the ice blocks.
Cyclone actually has hit level 10 at a pretty early time. He must be getting a lot of high experience fights. There's a possibility he actually gets to 11 before the boss, depending on what he gets for encounters later on, which would be helpful from just a damage sponging perspective. It doesn't really change how much damage he's going to deal in the boss fight because the bomb damage is fixed.
Yeah, I know for myself, during the weekly this past Monday, I had to actually take time because I hit level 20 before Doom Castle. So I had to basically sweat out the entire first 2 floors at 20.
I mean, if you get a floor 6, that's typically what'll happen, and it's not...
Floor 2.
Oh, floor 2. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I had to start. It's like, okay, I have to just start exit, just like defend, exit, so I just cut down on the XP because I didn't want to hit 24, you know...
24 is okay. 23 is the one that's a little bit difficult for a lot of people to manage, even though I don't think it's that bad. It's just that, I mean, we will talk about this later. We're bringing up all these things that are endgame that we're not even close to.
I know, but just, we got a bit of time to kill while they're slowly getting there. Dark's in his giant crab fight. Cyclone's getting close to picking up his last item.
He didn't drop for his item. I'm a little bit surprised by that, because he still needs to flip the switch.
Maybe he's trying to, no, I don't think he would try to do that afterwards. Unless falling from any place would specifically, you know, put you someplace precise.
Okay, oh, no. So he did. He just forgot. Went to go back, grabbed his heal potions. He should still have 1 more cast, at least 1, maybe 2 casts of lightning left. And so he's gonna wait to burn his seed, this final seed of his set, until a little later.
Yes. And Dark basically just about... Nope, he just got done his actual fight. And so now
he's through Falls Basin, now going towards the Ice Pyramid.
And looks like he's choosing to heal up, as you should.
Alright, so Cyclone grabs the Noble Armor, protects him from water attacks as well as poison, which is not something to laugh at. It will come up and be a little bit more important later on.
Yeah, makes you wish you could actually use some poison on the enemies, but, well...
It is what it is. So... Cyclone back almost out to the center of the pyramid, where he will do... Oh wow, he has 3 casts of lightning left. That's a lot.
Wow.
So he's easily gonna have enough lightning to get to through the rest of this dungeon.
Now in this case, do you take the seed early, or you probably wouldn't want it mid-fight. You probably wouldn't want that.
So from here on out, he could actually just take his seed right away. He only has 4 fights to go. They're all gonna use lightning. And he doesn't need to cast fire until he gets to the fight, so he'll have 10 on Phoebe going into the Ice Golem fight. But as is usually the case, why go into the menu if you don't have to right away? So he's going to wait as long as he possibly can to go into the menu and then probably heal up and seed, and then go into his final fight.
Here's a question though: if you're actually, at full health, and you have like the 1 or 2 things left, would you just he's choosing to burn it now?
Yeah, he only needs to use 2 more lightnings left. He's got to get through these next 2 fights, and then he'll have 10 fires, and that should easily be enough to get through the Ice Golem fight, unless there's some really bad RNG. So,
very true. And Dark's making his way through the Ice Pyramid right now. I'd say he's looking at maybe getting finished 45, 50 minutes in?
From here, maybe about this splits, I guess, about 8 to 10 minutes, I guess. So yeah, maybe around 45. As we get Cyclone getting ready to take his fight. This fight is all about a little bit of calculation if you want to go super fast on it. So the Ice Golem has 6,500 HP. So all you have to do is essentially count to 66. Cyclone's already at 10. Every 100 is a point. So he's already at 20. He needs to get to 66. And that's unfortunate. Just a turn where he doesn't do any damage. Oh, he's just gonna let him sleep. That's probably a good idea. Phoebe does a lot of damage here.
Yeah. The only time I'd say you might want to try waking him up is... Ow! He woke up! I would have laughed if he woke up and then immediately got hit and then just dropped dead.
Okay, so this is where you have to go backwards on it. He's actually at 50 of 66. I have been counting, actually, for this fight. Water again, so it's 48, 52. 62. Probably gonna get snowstorms here, yeah, so it's back down to 60. If he knows this, he can just go in. Yeah, he's going all in with Phoebe. This will probably kill him. And it does. 38, 15, 39-minute Ice Pyramid's a pretty solid time.
Yeah.
It's got a lot. It's actually a good indicator of a run that's in the sub 205 if he gets his floor 6.
I'd say also faster if he's not trolled by Pazuzu or Zoo.
Yeah, but it's a great time through the Ice Pyramid.
Yes,
we'll see, I guess, the split between him and Dark, as Dark is still working his way through the way up to the top floor before he can work his way back down.
True, but according to their timers, they're both still in the green, so yeah, they're working on it.
Dark's is always going to be in the green because this is his first unsegmented run.
Yeah.
So, but he's doing a good job for his first time out.
Yeah.
Making sure he doesn't make any major mistakes. I saw him dupe a bunch of seeds so that he definitely doesn't run out.
I know I'm a fan of doing that, but that's, because I'm still working through that one, though I won't segment a run. I'll just straight up, I'll go for the entire game.
Actually, what's really good about Cyclone is that he's already at 20 bombs still, so he actually doesn't have to pick up bombs on his way out of here to go into the next part of the run, the exit battlefield area.
So, do you want to start asking chat how many
yeah, chat, do you want to take a guess? Oh, he is going to pick up the bombs anyway. Is anyone in chat want to take a guess as to how many Sphinxes are going to come up in this battlefield? Ideally, you only want to... ideally, you see none. On average, you see about 2. So let's see how lucky Cyclone is with his... It's like 2 or 3, because I think it's like a 33% chance for it to come up.
I mean, if you get really lucky, the average, I'd say, if you're, not going to get 0 is probably 1. And I know I've done that once so far. So there's one.
We're getting numbers in the chat. So... He's actually getting a little bit unlucky. It's been squids both times, but the squid has gone first. And, it's not necessarily just the Sphinxes that are bad, because Riddle, of course, is a terrible thing that causes you to reset the fight, but that Electropulse takes quite a bit of time off of your exit battlefield split. And he's still squidless. He's still Sphinxless. This is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you see a 0 Sphinx fight? He's halfway through the battlefield without a Sphinx. Will we see the 0?
There it is. There's the 1.
6th battle in, though.
So...
Would you rather take...
Riddle, of course. And so that's why you have to get out of there. You don't want to take a 2-on-1. It's just bad luck for you. So you just go back and try to do it again. Again, he gets the squid, but the squid goes first. And all of those little 3-second wait for Electropulses, they do add up on this split.
I know every time Dark is stopping for a bit, I think he's pulling up Elmagus' guide to help him out.
He told me before the race that he has it literally at his side, and he's looking at it to make sure he's not doing.
Hey,
I don't think he's supposed to pop into that room.
Hey, yeah, I know I usually have it up, but then again, I also have the guide up.
No, he didn't go the right way. He has to go back around to flip the switch.
Yeah, we all make those mistakes. And I think, is Cyclone on his last fight?
Yeah, this is his last one. So was it 1 Sphinx?
Yep, 1 Sphinx.
That's a pretty good battlefield, all things considered. 1 Sphinx, still got hit with like 4 Electropulses, but that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Lobsmag, the estimated time for this run. The really good runners will get it to 2:05 with the right RNG. Most of the runs will take around 2:15 to 2:30.
And if you get godly RNG, you can get a sub 2.
A sub 2. And Chaldean, no, we specifically do just that battlefield because it gives us probably the single most important spell for Ben until like Pazuzu's Tower.
Yeah, I'd say the most important spell in the game. If you could actually get to that battlefield earlier,
we'd probably abuse it a lot more. We'd probably abuse it a lot more if we could, yeah. But that gives us the exit spell, which is really important because, as we'll see later on, who wants to walk when you can just teleport? That seems real good. And then, who needs to fight when you can just make them disappear? Isn't that also really good? So, we're gonna abuse exit a lot.
Cyclone's coming up to his, the reason why we have to have the menu in a specific order. Do you want to spin this one?
So this is the pretty big skip in the entire run. Turns out, one thing we want is infinite seeds, and the way we can do that is by buying 0 of them and then using one to underflow. As a result of the underflow, we actually replace the cure potions with something like a sky coin, which is sort of weird. But then now, if we try to buy cure potions, it actually tries to go into a memory location that it shouldn't go into, and that actually affects the additional items you can pick up. The key items in the game. and as a result, you actually get the Mobius Crest, the Sun Coin, and the Sky Coin, which is enough to actually get you through most of the rest of this game. So we're just gonna use it, and we're just gonna skip this Fire Burger. They were having earthquakes, and I think there was a volcano, but
yeah,
who cares?
They can deal with it later.
Yeah, we've got our own problems. We're trying to save the world, so we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
So we get into the rope bridge where there's a mummy and then a dude who has been following us for some reason.
Nah, I prefer the joke. He pulls a sandwich out of his pocket,
and it becomes a human. You believe in the sandwich theory. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey, the guy's name is Ruben.
Look, I don't know that. I've never met that guy before. Why would I know that his name is Ruben? Like, I'm not. And so the reason why, case in point number one, why we pick up that exit spell, it would be impossible for us to try to take that fight with just the Jumbo Bomb. It wouldn't be pleasant. We'd have to try to dodge 2 status effects to kill him.
I've literally forgotten to cure one time before going into that fight, and just is like, troll. He's like, dead. And eventually I get lucky enough to have him hit me, just like, oh, you're gonna status affect me, and I basically finally get to kill you.
Yeah, so ideally he tries to poison you and it doesn't happen, and then you exit him. But sometimes you can just get turned to stone or put to sleep, but instead now we've got this
hacking normally.
We've got this Tristram fella again, and we're gonna try to essentially talk to some tree in here to see if it'll grant us passage, but it won't listen to us because it's a tree.
Nah, we just don't have Nappy with us.
Yeah, I mean,
it is the Great Deku Tree.
It is. Oh, so he actually did go into his menu to cure the poison. Not super necessary, but it's a safe strat, and he's pretty well ahead at this point, so it doesn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And he likes taking naps. So.
Well, I guess he's trying to power level. I mean. Kaylee, what was she doing the entire time? Just sleeping, I think?
Oh. Okay, so Dark is on the 4th floor. Again, also didn't drop down to grab the
armor.
The armor, if I recall. Unless I missed that. I'm not sure.
I didn't see him drop. But I guess
Still hasn't dropped.
I just hope he doesn't, realize it afterwards. Oh wait, maybe he's actually gonna bomb the floor first and then drop from there.
But if he drops from the bomb spot, he can't go and get it's the inner sanctum.
I know, I'm not saying the bomb spot, I'm saying just walking down.
Nope. The armor's still there, and he can't do anything about it at this point. That's gonna make the fight a little dicey, as Cyclone is working his way back up to Aquaria to pick up the person who's been sleeping since minute, I guess, 4 of this run, yeah. But apparently sleep is super good for you, as we're going to see in a little bit, because it makes you super powerful. But before he does that, he's got to dump off this treasure hunter with another treasure hunter, so he's going to go down.
And pick up the hook shot from him. Would it be the hook shot or the claw shot? I think it's the claw shot.
It's all collateral for the treasure hunter leaving for another treasure hunter, but we'll take it nonetheless, because we like the hook shot.
And we picked it up originally, and he stole it from us.
Well, to be fair, we didn't actually pick it up. He went to the treasure chest before we did. So, all things being
but I wish you could actually... True, I just wish you had enough money to actually just pay him off to begin with, so you actually could get it early. But the game won't be nice to us on that one.
I mean, he says in the Sand Temple that he only makes 3 GP a month? 2 GP a month is his allowance? So I don't know when we're ever gonna make the money to get this claw. He doesn't give it to us.
I guess maybe farming the life forest, but ew. I mean, that's just like, okay, does he? That's basically his allowance. Every time he kills an enemy at actual life force, it gives him basically 0.5 of a gil.
I mean, it's a tough life, the adventuring life. But eventually he starts to make a nice nest egg for himself, beating all these monsters. We don't trust Phoebe with bombs. Mental note.
Yeah. Don't trust Phoebe with bombs. Don't trust him with shiny objects. Kaylee can talk to trees, and well, Ruben is a sandwich. A pocket sandwich.
Well, we have Kaylee now. We're gonna make one additional stop before we go back to see the Deku Tree, and that involves picking up Arrow, which is gonna be our primary source of actual damage for quite a little bit further in this run.
Yeah. And
I'll see if he goes the way most people now do this. Yeah, okay, so he's actually going to leave Focus Tower and then come back in, because when he picks up Arrow at the end of this sequence, he can then just exit, and it takes him back out to the bridge.
Yeah, most people don't think about it. I mean, heck, I didn't realize that you could straight up just exit from the bridge once you pick up Tristram, just walk by. I thought you still had to walk to the end.
Why walk when you can teleport? Hey,
True!
Maggots, that's the whole point! We're teleporting now, man!
I know that! I didn't think about it! It's like, it's like, oh wait, yeah, once I realized that, it's just like, okay, I'm doing that from now on. LA! And looks like, Dark is finally in his Ice Golem fight, which is going to be murder for him, but...
he's eaten a lot of ice blocks that do a lot of damage, because he doesn't have the protection from it. I wonder, well, he is going to drop off of this down to the 4th floor when he finishes the fight, so he can pick it up afterwards, but he will probably regret not having it going into the fight.
Very true. As Cyclone's working towards the Deku Tree.
He's going with the single removal strat instead of trying to cast Arrow on both monsters. He wants to try to do the double now, but he looked like he was exiting arrowing so that he wouldn't have to take as many attacks, which is one way to go about taking these fights instead of double arrowing.
Well, I guess it's a bit more time consuming, but it is a little bit safer, and I guess it would be smarter to do that. I mean, well,
it's definitely better in a lot of spots, actually. When we get to the tree proper and we're in the worm area of the tree, it's actually better to do it. When we're fighting the sorcerers in Pazuzu's tower, it's definitely better to be doing single removal instead of trying to arrow everyone. Because oh boy,
Dark, come on, Dark.
Oh,
come on, Dark.
Take care of himself now. Okay, good. Makes the right decision to heal Phoebe first before bringing back Benjamin. It might be the case now where he's got to try to do this with just Phoebe, because Benjamin doesn't have water resistance to begin with, so when he goes up, he probably just goes back down.
Yep, taking it on that, and
the slow struggle where he's only going to essentially be doing net 2 damage the entire time, as the golem is spamming Snowstorm.
But he actually is making it back there. He is almost done the fight, so
the question is he going to have enough fire spells at this point to seal the deal? He's going for it. That's bold, but I think it's correct.
And he gets it!
Yes, nice. Good call. Good call to go for it in that spot.
He got it. Now let's just hope he remembers to pick up his long-awaited armor.
So we're already starting to use the hook shot on Cyclone's end.
Yeah, who knew the hook shot could actually give you some extra stats?
It's actually important. It can actually do a collection of very important status effects if you want to go that route. Or it can give you an additional 5 magic, which is super important. So let's see if I guess Dark is going through his guide to figure out how to get out of here now. Which is actually problematic because now he has to try to get out of here sans Phoebe. And he's got 2 fights that he has to take now.
Yes.
This first one's easy, luckily.
Yeah. I just hope he remembers to pick up his heal potions along the way. And he does.
He does. Good.
Now this one...
Well, this could be problematic. Okay, good. This is interesting. He's gonna try to take the squid fight instead. That seems a little less exciting. As Cyclone begins the worm portion of the great tree. Ideally, what you want as a runner of this game is to just see the double leech formation fight the entire time. The triple leech is not terrible, as he'll try to just exit and... Oh, he's gonna go for a double arrow here, which makes sense because he's got all of his HP, but he's got to eat 3 attacks.
Ah, much better for Dark. He gets only the 1 Manticore and Squid.
He's gonna have to... He's dealing with riddles because he can't get rid of that Sphinx.
Oh! But he got rid of the Sphinx!
Then himself! Oh no. So what Cyclone is hoping, a good time typically getting into the tree, a good time is to be into the tree before the 1 hour mark. A really good time, which we might see here, is to get to out of the worm room, the room with a lot of mushrooms and worm fights, in also under an hour, or close to an hour. If he does that, he's on a really good pace. So...
And Dark does it!
He's out of here. He can finally make his way out of...
And pick up his armor.
So he's now going to make his way to his exit battlefield fight. Lob's left side, Cyclone is ahead by quite a bit at this point. Looks like Cyclone's going for the claw strats against the ooze. He's gonna try to claw the ooze and hopefully get it to petrify, which he did there, and then remove the 2 worms with Kaylee. That does take a little bit longer than removing the 2 worms first and then dealing with the ooze. So Cyclone got out of Ice Pyramid at 39 and Dark got out at, I guess, like 55-ish or something like that. So maximum, I don't know if it's a quarter of a game. It's probably close to like a 1/5 of the game because we do spend more of our time on the latter half of the game. But Cyclone's got 3 worm fights left before he makes his way to the next portion of this tree. The additional 2.5 more floors. one of the longer sections of the game. Probably only second to the tower itself. He's hopping into the menu almost after every fight. But, I mean, he can afford to, being up as much as he is. So Dark's already gotten one Sphinx. I haven't been counting. That's the second one?
Not sure on that one. Not sure on that one. But at least he managed to get away from it. And looks like Cyclone's near the very end of the tree.
Well, he's halfway. He's through the worm room, so that's probably officially the halfway point of the tree. Finished it in about 101, so...
About average.
Ideally, we're looking at like a 110-ish finish to the tree, unless he gets some bad RNG.
Which is some godly, you know, maybe 109.
Maybe even 108 if the fight goes particularly well for him, but we'll see. Benjamin just chilling paralyzed while Kaylee takes care of those toads.
Now, these worms. How fun do you think they are? I mean...
They are... honestly, I think they're one of the... how people react to them is one of the defining nuances of the faster to slower times.
And now he's getting rid of his toads.
Up and left. Yeah, okay, he's figured it out. Looking at the guide.
He's doing pretty well. I did not realize you could actually slide over that one.
Yeah, you just have to go right at that last lip. It doesn't. You don't have to go back up and around. There's a lot of interesting claw pathing things that you only learn by doing.
Yeah, or seeing someone else do.
Yeah.
And apparently, Dark forgets you can use exit.
Did he walk out of that second?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Why walk
yes,
when
he
you
did.
can teleport? I don't understand.
I know. It's one of those things, it's just, well, for us newer runners, it's more the fact of just, we try to remember, it's more the fact of we just gotta remember, you could teleport anywhere, most of the time. It's just remembering that piece.
So Cyclone entering the second interesting room after this fight, the Room of Oozes, which can be pretty annoying.
Really, you'd call him a ooze? I would just call it a metal slime from Dragon Quest.
Well, okay, I guess that's one way to look at them. They are oozes, and eventually when we get back to the palette-swapped version of those beholders, or actually I think they are called beholders in the tower, are probably some of the most annoying enemies in this game because for the first time ever, monsters can reflect magic. So...
Yeah, they get reflect and you don't. It'd be sweet if you actually could get the reflect spell in this game.
So you'll see that he makes Kaylee single target the wind spell on just the skeleton because if she gets the oozes with him, they just bounce off and do a bunch of damage to Kaylee, which we don't want. We don't want to have to go to the menu if we don't have to.
Dark's getting his fake sky coins and his 255 seeds.
Did he actually go to the menu?
Yes, he did, though he had to actually use a seed because he bought a seed by accident.
Alright, he's good. Is he going to check? He's going to walk out of here because he doesn't believe in teleportation. That's also fine.
Well, I don't think he realizes that he's got ESP now. So that he can teleport. And Dark about ready to pull off his pocket sandwich real soon. While Cyclone is slowly killing those metal slimes.
Cast Care Arrow. You can see how much damage that does to Kaylee, and now a solid 780. So ideally that doesn't happen again. That was just mashing the inputs and getting caught doing it. So
yeah,
which happens on the run occasionally.
He's going for arrow early.
This is a bold and highly questionable action. I don't know if he's going back into the guide to make sure. Okay, he is going to decline doing it.
I mean, he's on a great pace. I know first time I was going through this, you know, although I don't practice that much as far as, you know, segment-wise, but, you know, I was close to an hour and a half getting this far. Got that down real quick, though. And there's his pocket. There's his lunch falling off a cliff.
Got lucky. So, Cyclone got lucky, got the one-cycle version of this fight against the oozes, where Kaylee hits something with the axe, the ooze retaliates by trying to drain Kaylee, and oh boy, Stone Days on Dark's. And then because Kaylee has Phoebe resistances, actually counter-drains the ooze and kills it, so that the bomb attack by Benjamin kills the other ooze, which is usually the best version of that fight.
Yes. Yes, it is. And he sees his sandwich is basically ruined because it's past the 5-second rule. Climbs up.
Can't go and pick that back up. It's a dropped sandwich, guys.
Here comes Ristrom, basically saying, "Hey, about earlier, I need your help. Come on, let's go talk to the Deku Tree."
He literally says in that sequence, "Hey, did your sandwich fall into the bridge? I can hang out while you find a new sandwich." So
Dark does remember that he can't exit out of there. So he is learning to teleport.
2 more fights left for Cyclone before he gets to Ghidra.
And Dark taking on his second mummy fight on his way to see the Deku Tree himself.
The second one or the first one?
Second one if you count the single mummy.
Oh, the single mummy. Okay, sure. True. Okay. So, this is the formation that's probably the hardest to fight too, because you have to defend with Tristram against 3 attackers. Most people actually see that formation and decide to run.
That's what the formation guide says to do.
And now the Ghidra fight on Cyclone stream. So you want to spot remove the 2 skeletons before you take care of the Chimera proper. Although it doesn't look like it's going to happen right away as he got confused.
Would you call it a chimera? I'd say it looks like a bear with a goat and a dragon's head.
I mean, it's supposed to be a lion. It does sort of look like a lion. Like,
it looks more like a bear in my opinion, but that's me.
I mean, the palette swap version is actually called Chimera. So, no. Auto attack by Kaylee. You don't want to do that. You want to spam when, he's going to correct for it.
Yeah.
So this is another one of those fights when you get down to it that you can actually count for. So I haven't been paying attention this time around, but if you count, what you need to kill this boss fight is 4 arrow casts from Kaylee and 4 arrow casts from Benjamin. And so
total basically 4 rounds once the
it's about 4. If Kaylee doesn't get 4 casts off, because and I think this might be enough, and if it isn't, is he gonna go? Okay, it is enough.
He's good.
So 110, a pretty solid time getting out of the tree. Give me the goon kids!
Goon kids!
Get the Goon Kid. Cyclone already coming in with the Goon.
Yep. He got his Goon Kid around 110. I think 20 was when it passed completely.
Yeah, but it's a pretty average time. And you can count for that fight. So if it's 4 arrow casts from Kaylee and 4 arrow casts from Benjamin, that's enough to kill him.
And he's sliding down to pick up his first of the 2 most powerful spells in the game. Sorry, his second of the 3.
Second of 3. And so, I mean, now that you've killed the Ghidra, all the monsters in this area disappear. And we have been making the point of emphasis throughout this entire run to this point of why walk when you can teleport? But it turns out that we want to pick up something here before we teleport, and that's the Meteor spell. So Cyclone is actually on his way to pick that up, and then when he gets that, he'll teleport.
I know my first run that I actually, well, my very first run, you know, going through this just casually, picked up Meteor. Before I even picked up Meteor, it was like spam food was like exit. And it was like, oh crap! I gotta walk back to get to pick up Meteor.
It's not that much out of the way because it is a floor 2 pickup, but so now Cyclone's gonna get his Cupid Locket and his Mega Grenades.
And Dark is now getting his hook shot. Actually, would it be the hook shot or the claw shot? I think it's the claw shot.
I mean, it is a claw, so I think claw shot is more.
Yeah, it's more in flavor. And now he's getting his Mega Grenades, which I love. Basically, you know, the thought on this one. It's like, what makes them mega? You can throw them.
Yeah, they're so good. You can throw them. And somehow that means, I guess, you can do more damage? So
I guess.
He's going to talk to Otto. Otto's going to be like, my kid is in the tower, and I can't build this road because the wind's too strong. Can you do something about it? And then Benjamin's like, I guess I can do something about it. So he's going to go to Mount Gale. I want to see what he does with the boss of this area, if he's going to go with Auto Kaylee strats or if he's going to go heal strats. We'll see. But one of the most important things about picking up that Meteor spell is not only is it super good against the boss fight, it's super good in this area in general because it makes it so that you can kill everything, and I mean everything, with one single target cast of arrow by Kaylee and landing the Meteor spell with Benjamin. So we're finally at a part of the game where Benjamin's power curve is meaningful again. My guess is that because you can throw the bomb, you can make them more powerful because you're further away from them. The man Cyclone is winning, the person on the runner on the left, and he's ahead by probably a solid 20 minutes, I guess, at this point. Okay, let's see. Okay, so he's gonna go and grab Arrow now. And he's going to grab Arrow without walking back out onto the world map first, so hopefully he recalls to walk out instead of exit, because if he exits now, he's going to end up on the Aquaria side of the map. I used 2 Skeeter, and then it got water damaged, so feels bad, man, in the chat, please. The man, this is actually his first unsegmented single segment run. He's new to Final Fantasy Mystic Quest 80% speed running. So he's got the guide with him, and he's using it as we're running the race. So as would be expected, he's referring to it very regularly. One more fight left for Cyclone in Mount Gale before the boss fight. Let's see if he gets the 2 vampire formation. He does. Okay, so he's had a pretty nice Mount Gale altogether, and you'll see, and this is going to be a little bit more apparent as we continue throughout this. You saw that Kaylee was defending Benjamin, and then Benjamin was casting a spell. So one of the nice things about defend is that if you make it so that one character defends the other character, the only person that can receive damage is the character doing the defending. So Kaylee is the only one that can take damage in that spot because Kaylee's defending Benjamin. And that's really important because not only does that mean that Benjamin very likely survives, it also means that Benjamin doesn't get afflicted with status effects which might stop him from doing what he wants. As it seems like Duhan is deciding to make it so that Kaylee has to do constant healer strats, which is, you know, one way for Duhan to interact. Oh, finally a chance for Kaylee to do something other than heal, so we're gonna find out if he's on heal strats or auto strats. He is on heal strats, so... oh, and it looks like he landed it on first try, which is really good. So the whole point of what he just did there is ideally... Okay, he's came out of it almost immediately. Ideally, when you use heal on an enemy, you actually get it so it causes a status affliction instead of not causing a status affliction.
I guess in this case it's counting as a black magic spell.
Yeah, so he's trying to...
Magic.
And so in particular, he's trying to induce the status effect Paralyze on Dullahan, and if he inflicts Paralyze, the fight becomes a lot easier to play when, you know, you're not being dealt damage.
Yeah, because you can just spam, you know, massive damage. Just literally just hold A and go.
But he's back on constant healer strats. I think, though, if he's been counting, he's either going to kill him with this meteor or he's going to be like 1 arrow away from killing him. So, okay, he is. Let's see if he's going to go. Okay, good. He is going to go with the arrow strat. I agree with this. He's probably just the 1 arrow away from dying. So, this is probably the right thing to do. And he's, yeah, he does die. So, that's a great fight. A lot of, missed damage from Kaylee because he was in basically pure healer mode the entire time, but got through it right away, so...
Yes, and he's now going to the most annoying location in the game. So, do you want to have chat start guessing his floor now?
Ready your baby rages, please, chat, because very rarely are we gonna be pog champing.
Hey. I've been basically getting ice on that one. I'm what, 60% of the time right now getting floor 6.
You are one of the lucky ones. I've had a PB pace, but I've had to reset because of good old baby rage.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out a way to actually help us all with that. That's me.
So, the Beholders, again, the monster in this entire area that you cannot hit with magic. So, we're gonna see a lot of bombs and axes in this actual portion of Pazuzu's tower.
Yeah, at least it's not as bad as the Hellway of Death.
Oh, we'll talk about Hellway in a little bit. Don't you worry.
Hellway, or would you call it the Highway to Hell?
Well, because... I mean, it is the stairway to hell instead of the stairway to heaven.
Yeah, so... I agree with you there. It is the stairway to hell because essentially you might actually get some baby rates after that. And Dark making his way through the tree right now. He's almost to the halfway point.
At 120, which is, again, not bad for someone trying to put together a single segment for the first time.
Yep. which is always good, you know. I mean, segmenting is actually good, you know, because at least you know what parts you're doing and what stuff, you know, you need to really do.
Cyclone, concentrate on the race. Let me actually spam that in the chat, because I know he's only got the chat up and not the stream. Oh, he's going for sword manipulation. Okay, frame manipulation strats. Let's see if that works.
I know I'm working on trying to figure that out, but using the first floor just gives, supposedly on all the casual info, you know, just looking at all the damn guides for, you know, that casual people have written for this, apparently you won't get a floor 3, which cuts the numbers down to, 4 floors.
So why did he do the whole sword claw thing before talking to that bird? So, we talked to the bird, and the bird disappears. He randomly goes to another floor on the tower between 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And we're all in agreement that that happens based on the frame, either the frame you talk to him or the frame you finish the conversation. And so we're all trying to manipulate that frame so that ideally we get the floor 6, but we don't know necessarily how to do it as of right now. So that's what he was doing there.
Do you know if it's a specific frame or if it's a frame window?
I personally have no clue.
I have no clue either. My thought is it's probably a window. So I'm personally trying to figure out, at least this is my personal theory on that one.
But regardless, we are now at the mercy of the jerk bird. So prepare your baby rages.
Then again, the nice thing is that we basically get some KFC after we kill him.
Well, if he decides to let you kill him, fight's still not a gimme. So
true.
We'll see what happens after that.
True, but I don't think you're going to have him like literally take 2 hours on the one fight. At least we hope.
I mean, we've seen the bird mess with Cyclone in the past. Mag,
yes.
right? So...
Yes, but that was the second bird. The first one he actually did pretty good at.
Okay, we don't appreciate birds in this race scenario. Dark looking at the guide to figure out which lane of mushrooms he has to cut.
Very true. And now Cyclone makes its way up to floor 5, which, although it's completely out of the way, you can check to see if the bird is on floor 5 on your way to 7, but it is not worth it because it is a detour.
It's it's not necessarily the biggest detour because 40% of the time it will be useful to take those fights, but the other 60% it won't be, so you can probably just wait and see.
Then again, you know, it's variable on that one. I mean, he was hoping he's entered the Hellway.
The Hellway. So these Manticores are jerks. They can do a lot of damage with fireballs, as we're gonna get evidence of right now.
They can petrify you.
They can petrify you. They can do whatever they want to try to kill you, and you're just trying to survive going through 3 sets of 3 Manticore fights,
which are set.
Yeah, they are fixed. There's no other formation in this Hellway other than those 3. So.
Yeah. Because if we could, we'd run like all hell till we could get 2. But looks like Dark is making his way through the forest rooms. And Cyclone using the life strats on them.
Cyclone got pretty good RNG where he's been able to get Benjamin to cast his exit spell. There have been scenarios where, because he's so slow, he just doesn't even get to exit before he's petrified or murdered. senselessly.
And he's supposed to be the actual prophesied hero. All Cyclone's gotta be close.
Oh, the sword strats!
You got yes!
So that's why you'll see a lot of the runners running with the sword at this point in the game, is that the sword actually gives you an additional 5 speed. And typically Benjamin is slow as molasses, but occasionally he'll actually get out of the honey and make a move faster than the enemy, and that was a good time to have it against that Manicore. Oh, so this is good. Ideally, he's going to want to have just 2 formation fights throughout this entire 7th floor, which is a possibility with most of these fights. So...
very true.
As Dark is finishing up his worm room.
His Wormageddon.
You play any of the Worms game, Mag?
I've played a few. It's been a few years since I've played it, but yeah, I have played it every now and then.
Yeah, I think it's been maybe 5 or 6 years since I've played a Worms game. It's fun though.
Yes, it is.
Just girders. That's my favorite. Girders and grenades, and see how skillful people are. Seeds up, goes on. He's got about 4, I think it's exactly 4 fights left on floor 7, and then 2 more till he gets his actual most powerful spell in the game. Girder starter pack is top tier. 10 out of 10 pack. But he's gonna get the flare spell, and then we're gonna do a lot of Benjamin heavy lifting for a little while. At least until Phoebe comes back anyway. But he's making his way through floor 7. Hopefully he doesn't get double quaked. And that's 1. Oh, he lands again! Sword strats! Lands the exit before the other sorcerer gets to go. Continues to live, does Benjamin here.
Yep. I know personally, I will, especially in the early game, if I know, I'm gonna get healed soon enough, I'll just keep working with just 1 HP.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to, as you learn the run a little more, sometimes you can leave Benjamin limping along. Like, Kaylee's got enough HP, or Phoebe's gonna go fast enough that you probably don't have to worry about the next fight or 2 fights before healing up.
Yeah, I remember doing the entire Bone Dungeon up to the boss, having Tristram there, not giving a crap about Benjamin, with 1 HP.
And the other reason you don't necessarily have to care about Benjamin either is because if he dies, he still gets experience. It's one of the things about Baby's first RPG that's nice. If he's dead, he still can level up, which is very weird. But we're gonna go with it, because...
it's also... yeah, it's fun though. So, would you call it Baby's first RPG, which is good? I've also heard the nickname of...
oh no, he miscontrols his claw. It's okay, he doesn't have to take another fight, but that's just unlucky.
I know. Though, I also have heard people refer to this as RNG, the RPG.
I mean, not wrong. I think it just gets that reputation because of incoming baby rage, boys. Like, the rest of the variants of this game is not super bad, but the variants right now, in this instance, can be some of the absolute worst. So we're all hoping for PogChamps, but we're probably getting baby rages.
Would you call at least a floor 1 better? Or...
I mean, floor 1 is great, but do you understand how much stress you have to go through before you know it's a floor 1? Like, It's not on floor 5. It's not on floor 4. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Hopefully it's not on floor 2.
True. True. Very true.
Alright, here we go. Hit it with your axe. And... Baby
Damn.
Rage, baby Rage. Everyone Baby Rage right now.
It's not Baby Rage yet. It's starting to get there.
It's probably... If all things considered, that's probably the death of the PB for Cyclone now.
Not
unless he gets like a floor 1 and a really good fight, because he's gonna give up at least 4 minutes, at worst 10 minutes here, just by not seeing the bird on floor 6.
Yeah, the bird gave him the bird.
Okay, so Cyclone's already acknowledging in the chat that PB is Rip Boys. F to pay respects to the PB.
R.I.P. Cyclone's PB.
But I mean, it is the major RNG factor. He can probably rest assured that it's probably not going to be the race this time around, but it is sometimes disheartening that it can be the deciding factor between a win and a loss in a race scenario.
Which for him last time, it really wasn't the major one. It was more of the Zoophyte.
Yeah, which, you know, has its own RNG, of course, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Wait, so I missed it. Is it on 5? I didn't see it.
I did not see it either. I did not see it either.
Well, he's got to take these fights regardless. So I guess we'll see in a second if it's 5 or not. He's getting a lot of great initiative RNG. Actually got out in front of the Beholder there to exit the Garuda, which didn't help because he needed to exit the Garuda. He's gonna heal up. It is not on 5, so Baby Rage intensifies. Is it floor 4? It's not floor 4. Baby Rage intensifies. We're getting a little bit worried now, team, that this might be actual hell. Hell Tower, floor 2. This is scary because with the remaining 2 floors to go, we're looking at a difference of potentially another 6 to 7 minutes, just because of one more thing left to see. But he's got a couple more fights to go now as a result. He's got to clear out a couple of Beholder fights. He's going to start using up a little bit more bombage. But the intensification of the Baby Rage. We hope, team. Everyone needs to hope. Give energy, please, chat. Or take energy. Well, we're gonna find out right now whether or not it's full Baby Rage. Oh, it is not full Baby Rage. It is a floor 1, the second best Pazuzu. So it may be unrip PB. Maybe he gets a couple of good RNGs in Doom Castle and we have a chance still. So in all likelihood, we're giving up 4.5 minutes from our PB. Or the best possible tower anyway. So to explain why, 1 is the second best. To go through 4 and 5, you have to take an additional 5 fights. To get through floor 1, he's gonna hit the switch, and he's actually gonna teleport out of Pazuzu's castle. Gonna get out of here, and he's gonna actually re-enter Pazuzu's castle, and we know he's on 1 because we just saw him there. So, as a result, he only has to take one more fight, and he might take this bird. Yeah, he's gonna take the bird fight on the left. And so now he's all clear to take on Pazuzu instead of taking an additional 4 fights. So it is, technically speaking, the second fastest Pazuzu. But it comes with the most drama, of course, as he's now getting ready to take that fight, and Dark is preparing to fight Ghidra soon. Alright, so let's talk about this bird. The bird has the ability to reflect attacks every 5 attacks. He'll cast something called Psychic Shield. Psychic Shield will make it so that he reflects spells, and he'll have that up for 1 turn after he casts it.
Here's a question. Does he only reflect offensive spells?
I actually don't know, but why would you try to cure the bird or heal the bird?
Simple, stupid curiosity.
I mean, maybe. I mean, we know he's resistant to paralysis and petrify, so the resistances, the afflictions you would want to get on him aren't the ones that are super great, as Benjamin goes down to Sky Attack.
Would you be able to actually put poison on him?
So, poison probably wouldn't help you that much, if at all, because that's additional... It's a lot of additional frames for something that does on the order of like 100 damage. It doesn't stack up as the fight persists. So...
Damn.
Like, if you were to inflict poison, it would just be a lot of additional damage ticks that you would have to see that don't help you, so...
True. Though... As I said, at some point I would love to see what would happen if he would, if you would try to cure him while his Psychic Shield is up. Because if it actually would reflect back, I'd wonder on that one. Would it reflect?
Why would you cure to reflect when you can just cure to cure? That doesn't... The logic is flawed, man!
No!
Questionable.
It's questionable, yes! But at the same point, it would just be fun to see. It'll just... Okay, I've got a save state here just before that. I just want to see what would happen. I mean, would he reflect it back? Would he take it? Would it technically count as... I doubt it would count as damage, but... Would his reflecting it back actually increase it to whatever its maximal dig would be?
Cyclone's doing a really interesting thing here, because he has struggled to actually cast Seed on Benjamin when Psychic Shield is up, because he's been dead. He's actually using the time that... Oh, that's a nice good fight. Pretty clean, given the fact that it is a 4-1. He had to do a bunch of actual emergency healing.
But he did it.
He's through it. He does not have to pick up that chest because he has the
Cyclone
already.
Yep.
And now he's going to set up the second part of his inventory glitch to... proceed with the next part of the run.
Skipping the whole run around just by giving himself a Thunder Rock. And Dark getting through his Gidra's fight right now.
Did he have... Okay, no, I don't think he's had to reset yet, but... Cyclone. Why walk when you can teleport? Why do you do this every time? Please. I don't understand why people walk.
I think he was trying to save the time on the menu.
Goon Kid!
Because as we know, by the end of this game, Benjamin is an actual goon for someone.
Second Goon Kid of 4 potentially tonight, because I believe there is a second race at 9 o'clock, and I don't think that has been canceled.
No, it is not. It's F. Coughlin versus, I forget who else, but it's in my group.
Silverfire. Silverfire and F. Coughlin, I think, is the second race.
Yes, it is. I'm rooting for Fred here. I'm rooting for Fred.
I don't think that's where...
No.
Well...
And now he picked up... Somehow his sandwich was teleported to him. I guess his sandwich...
Yeah, the sandwich returned. And the sandwich told him about this Thunder Rock thing, so... And so Benjamin used his cure potion to actually make a Thunder Rock, and then it used it to blow up a giant chasm to create water in the world, and now he's going to use it to go to get to Captain Mac's ship.
Using the Rainbow Road. I wonder, though, did he actually have to deal with the turtle shells and the other stuff on it?
I mean, he had to deal with feathers at least. There was a bird.
Yeah, but I guess that allowed him to jump most of it. But now he's having to find Captain Mac, which really, I do have to agree with, I forget who made the joke about the entire game is Captain Mac's fault.
Oh, our RPGC was saying something about that a couple days ago. Yeah, I mean, probably not wrong, but he is still kind of a jerk for just hiding on the bottom of his boat while monsters are infesting it. And then making us go through all this effort to give him his damn hat so that all the monsters disappear?
Yeah, but at the same point, I mean, he could have actually, I don't know, maybe have actually, opened all the doors in the tower because he had a ship?
No, I mean, he could have... Do you think Captain Mac could have survived going through that tower by himself?
I mean, if Ben can manage to do it, that's a bit questionable.
Man, you're not wrong. So Cyclone's got one more fight after this one, involving some gargoyles. I agree. I would agree with X10. Like, why doesn't Captain Mac have a backup hat inside the ship?
Because it's Captain Mac.
I mean, he could have two hats. There's nothing wrong with having a second hat.
Yeah, but I guess he was trying to find a Big Mac.
Maybe? I mean, he must have been super busy getting out of the house over in Forest. I'm just saying.
Well, that or he might have been watching a little Mac fight.
It's entirely possible. Alright, so he's cleared through the final fight, Cyclone. He's gonna go pick up the Gaia armor, which now, in addition to water and poison resistance, gives him resistance to wind. Which is, a little bit past
Does he have resistance yet to Earth?
He doesn't have... I don't think he picks up resistance to Earth. By the way, two treasure hunters that are gonna tell him that, Phoebe is looking for Benjamin, and that's gonna get Ruben excited, so he's gonna start breakdancing some more.
Damn, he doesn't get Earth resistance. Wanted to make an actual Captain Planet joke there.
No.
Why not?
Nope. What? We don't even get resistance to fire in this game. Why would we have... We get two resistances. That's it.
Yeah, I guess. But then again, considering that there are 5 crystals in this game, which still is kind of annoying, and because, well, one of them you don't find out about until the very end of the game, even though it's shown on the title screen.
Yeah, it's a thing. So, alright, so we talked to Captain Mac, tells us that, you can drive a ship by just walking up to a steering wheel and hitting an A button, whatever that means.
Yeah, the game's self-aware. And if the game was more self-aware, you'd figure they would know and actually start bitching at you for skipping certain crystals.
It's okay. We're the hero. So we're gonna see what Cyclone does here. My gut reaction is that he's actually not gonna take the shield that is his namesake.
I know for me, since I'm still learning the tower, you know, if I fall down the wrong place and I fall right in front of it, it's like, I'm going to grab it because it's you know, because I'm already here, because I've taken the wrong thing.
Yep.
Because, as I said, I'm still learning. But, you know, that's me.
Yeah.
Because if you take the wrong staircase, do you land in front of the shield? Are you going to literally walk away from it? Or take the fight and grab it?
Probably not. So let's see if he... Okay, so he is gonna drop down. He's definitely... Oh, he is going for it. Okay.
Yes, there's a reason behind that. It cost him the race last time. It literally cost him the race.
It may have cost him the race the last time. He also has nothing to lose this time around to pick it up.
That is true.
So this is probably an indication as well that he's probably not playing for PB here, because I think he would take that risk if he was playing for PB. But since he's probably not playing for PB, and he's already got the win more or less secure, he probably is just like, I'll just pick it up. And
yeah, he's probably trying to actually just, you know,
just ease the rest of the ride home.
Yeah. I mean, because, well, remember, you can kill the bosses down. You can just heal them to death.
Okay, so he's gonna life to remove the skull. Unfortunately, Benjamin died before getting his flare off, but Phoebe does get the white off after multiplication, so we're through Skull Rex, and so we are now going to Doom Castle proper, because I don't consider that first area actually Doom Castle, because you don't... So, okay, so I'm seeing in chat Cyclone. So his Cyclone's PB is probably based on 4-6 timing, because he was 5 minutes behind going into Skull Rex, and it makes sense if that's the case that he would definitely go and pick up the shield.
Mind you, you can still PB even without a 4-6. It's just very, very, very hard.
Yeah, the RNG would definitely have to be in his favor, and I thought maybe he would take a shot at it, given that it's only quote unquote it's only 5 minutes, but it looks like he's resigned himself to
not getting it. I mean, he might. I mean, would you beat yourself up if you don't PB by like a minute? But you gave yourself the opportunity?
I think, I mean, so what I think, the other thing that I think is interesting is the first tiebreaker in groups is your fastest run. So, and I believe Group F has 4 runners, so he doesn't get to run a time trial. So I think there is something to, you know, taking the risk in trying to put together your fastest possible time, because it might be the difference between being, say, the 7th seed and maybe not the 7th, but like the 2nd seed or 3rd seed versus being like the 4th or 5th seed and having to race against the potential number 1 seed earlier on in the...
Which would be what, either you or
my guess is either me, DDR, or Feral will probably have the fastest time.
Unless something amazing is discovered sooner.
Yeah. And, you know, the group stage still has a long way to go. There's still a lot of things that can happen.
I'm hoping to figure out how to actually skip most of the tower if I can. If I figure that one out, you guys aren't going to find out the info until the actual brackets.
But it does, I mean, even if you... So the problem is you actually... One of the things we've come to find out is you actually still have to go through the tower, so the only optimization is to make sure that it's always floor 6.
Which is what I'm looking at doing.
And if that's the case, then... I mean, it's still a lot of that tower that, yeah, you still have to go through the Hellway. You still have to navigate floor 7.
Oh, I'm aware of that. I am well aware of that. And it looks like Dark's coming up to his Dullahan fight. You call him Dullahan or Dullahan?
Dullahan, I think, is what I usually go with. I don't mind either pronunciation, to be fair.
Yeah.
Alright, so in all likelihood, he's gonna make the stone golem disappear by casting Exit, and he's gonna try to remove the two Cerberuses with... Oh, look, try to spot remove one with fire. Successfully does it. Nice clean fight here.
Very true. And he's now on the Dullahan.
So, Dark is definitely looking at his notes right now to see... That's bold, going for the heal strat on 261 HP for Benjamin, and yeah, he's gonna pay for it by having Benjamin die.
What is this area? I've never seen this area before.
I don't know. There's apparently a lava area in this game. Or so I've been told.
Yes.
But this is the first time I've ever seen it, so...
Just like apparently there is supposed to be a third sword and 2 more axes.
I mean,
I know we walk by an axe, but we choose not to pick it up.
I mean, I've been told lots of things about weapons and stuff in this game, but I don't think they actually exist. I think they're all figments of your imagination.
The same thing about Ben actually not even having a helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't... Who needs... You're a hero! The helmet just gets in the way of your hair.
Yeah, I guess, but... eh. I mean,
look at that perfectly coiffed hair.
But I do have to give shoutouts to the music for this game.
It's very good. You'll see Cyclone spam a lot of flare and white to get through most of these small mobs.
Now here's a question. Do you prefer to take this mob before or after the boss fight?
I always take this mob. The rationale is I'm going to seed before fighting Twin Head anyway. And I'm going to seed after fighting Twin Head anyway. So why am I going to seed after the Twin Head and still waste the spell charge taking this fight?
Yeah, I guess. The most amusing thing about this entire area, all the mobs are basically the same.
We get rehashes of old bosses too, and or their palette swapped versions from the actual crystal dungeon, but alright, so here comes probably the understatedly dangerous fight of Doom Castle. Not actually the final boss, but like second to final boss in...
Here's a question. When did Ben go fight a 2-headed dragon?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's not a thing. Go in for double spot removal. That's an interesting choice. Into Wind and White.
Spot removal.
So he single targets the Jinn with Wind and the Medusa with Thunder from Phoebe to get rid of
both of them?
Both of them before going into casting spells instead of Flare White. I guess to save the wizard charges.
And Dark just about done his Dullahan fight. He actually just finishes that. So he's going to the tower.
So he's made it to the way to his tower. He is Cyclone is actually now, okay, with that one attack, probably out of the danger area of this twin head fight.
Yep, as he can now no longer do any fire damage.
Yeah, the massive fire spell is gone, so he's just gonna start spamming magic non-stop. I would be surprised if he stops to cure here, just going all in on the damage, because I think even with these last two casts, he probably kills. Oh, just one white is enough to kill. So
let's start getting the baby raids ready in chat. No, for both of them. Cyclone's going
double baby rage. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So Cyclone's making it to the final portion of Doom Castle, the second Pazuzu's tower.
Which he has to be careful that he doesn't walk too far, but he's a skilled enough runner. He won't walk off the edge yet.
Yeah, so the first time you go through this, you'd be surprised. It's actually like Ice Pyramid in the sense that you can fall. And why is that a thing that's allowed? I don't know, but it's a thing. So
yeah, I mean, where is that possible in Pazuzu's tower? I'd love to know, so that way I can start skipping more fights.
It's funny because the Ice Pyramid area, you're not allowed to fall. You can't fall off the edges in the Ice Pyramid area of Doom Castle. So they had to put it back in somewhere, so they decided, I guess, Doom Castle's a good place. Or, Pazuzu's Tower area is a good place.
Yeah, but I wish that was actually true in the original Pazuzu's Tower. I mean, could you imagine just flip the switch, walk over to the edge, drop down to the next floor?
Yeah, it's a very, to be fair, I guess it's a well-constructed tower. I don't want to have, like, holes in my stone tower. It'd be very awkward. Maybe in the Ice Pyramid, those holes are because the floor's melted a little bit in those areas, and so it's not a construction problem, say, more as a, HVAC problem.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a, I'd say it's from all the fires that VP's casting. She's destroying the Ice Pyramid.
Yeah, slowly melting the pyramid. So, I mean, makes sense that there are holes there, I guess, but not that many, or any at all in Pazuzu's tower. Because, stone towers are pretty resistant to wind, all things considered.
Water, not so much, but we don't cast a water spell.
Never. I've been told there is a water spell in this game, but we're gonna survive at least this because we picked up the Age of Shield on Cyclone's left because he's resistant to Petrify, but
yes.
So far he's having a pretty good time with the monster fights in this Pazuzu's in the build-up in Zoo's tower. It's another good formation because this is a flare white formation.
Then again, Zoo and Pazuzu just remind me of a freaking Pokemon. I almost wish I could just throw a Pokeball at him. And then take the other one. Just basically then throw Zoo versus Pazuzu. See who would win that one.
He's got 3 fights to go. Okay. Dark talking to the bird now. So we're looking at a potential incoming, or I guess a long way to go before really baby raging, so.
Still nice time from Dark. I know for myself, even actually memorizing most of the guide, even my time isn't even this good sometimes. Then again, I get trolled in the end game.
Yeah, it looks like he... maybe... if everything goes according to plan, probably like a 3:15 for Dark, something like that.
Which is actually 15 minutes faster than my PB at present. But then again, when I last did that, that was with a floor 2.
Well, we'll see what how the bird decides to mess with Dark in quite a little bit. So instead, we're gonna get ready for Cyclone's final couple of fights before the Dirty Bird Part 2. His PB is a 206, so if he has a super good fight, it's still in the cards.
True. I mean, if he gets there, I just want to know what his reaction will be. I mean, he's got it. It's just...
Again, being bailed out by having resistance to petrify. So you get to the fight at 2. If the RNG is super good, he can be out of here in 2:02, no problem. And then it's only another minute and 50, it's still possible. So chat, give him your energy. It's entirely reasonable. He might have the RNG to do it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, you know, the fact that he didn't get a floor 6 because all of his RNG luck is coming to here.
So this is probably a little bit rough. He'll still get...
Come on, Cyclone, you got this.
He's playing real cautious. So he's gotten 2 flare attacks off, so that's 2 of 10 total attacks on him. Psych Shield, okay. And Dunk City, Population Phoebe. So...
He still has a chance. It's just going to be very, very, very hard.
Double Dunk? No.
No.
Alright, so that's 3.
Survives 1.
And he goes down. So that's probably going to be it for the PB, but he still probably have a chance for his sub 210, which would be a really good time to have to going into playoff phase, to be fair. That's his tiebreaker time, but he still has 1 more race to go, and hopefully it'll go better next time around. But he's still looking at a pretty secure run.
That's true. For myself, I hope that at least one of my runs is actually pretty damn good. But
Whoa, dodges another Doom Dance. The bird is getting a little bit dancy. Needs to stop doing it again. Yep. Wow. Yeah, so it looks like the bird is...
Did Ben just get to go off first?
Always happens when Psych Shield is going up.
Oh, did not realize.
That would be very unfair if that thing could go down before... So...
Go up.
Or yeah, go up before you could cast or to finish a turn.
Oh, he survives that.
He's at 5? He's gonna need a lot of RNG luck. Nope, doesn't happen.
Yeah, and the only character that actually has Doom Resist, you can't punch and steal it.
And you probably don't want it because his other resists are terrible.
I know.
Early Doom Dance on Benjamin to start. So the game is making it a point of emphasis to just...
Oh dear God.
That's probably better. Honestly, that's probably better that he just has the fight reset right away instead of having to go through the...
Just hope he doesn't have the same thing that happened to him last time.
He would have to be stuck at this fight for quite a while for this to be...
I know, but the game can be that trolly sometimes. I hope the hell it's not, but...
Finally gets some Phoebe White spells in, so that's good. Oh, Psych Shield. Maybe the luck is finally turning around.
Tornado. Some more white.
So that's 4 of 10. He'll get 2 more here if he doesn't die. He'll actually get to 8, which is really good.
Then it's just a...
So he's gonna get to 8. Psych Shield's gonna go down. He has to survive essentially a couple turns so that he can cast 2 more spells, and then he's out of here. Alright. That's very good strategic play by defending with Ben there. That's really good. Probably doesn't have to seed there, but it's not going to hurt him in the long run, I don't think. Oh, maybe it will now, actually, because he needs to land. He should probably just go for it. Oh, Sky Attack. Unlucky. Wow.
Zoo hates him.
This is probably, if he's going to have any regrets about this run, this fight is probably the only thing he can look to and just be...
Like, rip me. Just rip me.
He can't find the luck. It's not coming... Doom Dunk again. Yeah, here we go again. Probably just needs to run. Probably just needs to let this fight go to... He probably just needs to run and let this fight lead to its natural conclusion. Sky Attack does it, but it's getting really unlucky on his end now to just continue to struggle killing this bird on this fight. Meanwhile, Dark working his way through Manticores. There's the red, officially outside of PB. We all sort of knew that that was happening.
True, but he is still, you know, got a shot at it. Well, I shouldn't say that, but maybe at least getting some gold splits. I mean, you gotta take what you can get there.
So he's at 5 attacks this time around before first shield. Has to survive, ideally no more Doom Dances, as Dark is working his way up the hallway of death. Gets an early Psych Shield, that's good. Gives him a chance to seed and heal up.
And I know I'm gonna have to multi-twitch something after this.
Okay. Goes with the conservative Phoebe strat of just hitting the bow and arrow because he's not sure if Phoebe's gonna go before or after the bird. Gets a crit, so that actually counts as essentially an attack. So that's at 7 now. Doom Dance. Misses! So he's at 8, and if he goes for it, he's got the kill. And he should go for it here.
There's that.
Is he not dead here? He should be dead. Yeah, okay.
He's dead.
So...
I was gonna say, he is dead. He's not dead yet, but he's dead. Now comes the...
208 out of the bird, so... As long as his menuing is clean and Dark King doesn't do anything trolly, it should be like exactly 210 or sub 210.
And now we get to see the hardest boss in the game.
But he is actually through the true boss of the game. The bird is final boss.
Yeah, because the final boss
is the final boss, Mag. We go through this fight and it's an exercise in menuing.
True.
Because we abuse the fact that
we got the most powerful spell in the game, and we picked it up within the very first chest of the game.
Yeah, turns out that Cure is actually really, really good. Or that Dark King's HP is really poorly coded because it uses just enough bits that when you cure him, the signed integer makes it a negative spell instead of a positive spell.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use that to make his life uncomfortable.
Yep. How amusing. Basically explains at the beginning that yes, he was the creator of the legend. Yada yada yada. Oh look, now he.
So he's one more cure away from closing out this deal now, and gonna post a time of about 2:09:35. Let me see what the live chat. 2:09:39 is the official SRL time.
Still sub 210.
Sub 210. Beat his race PB by 5 minutes, which was not bad. Dark's working his 3 through floor 7 of the tower. We're gonna check to see what he gets as a Pazuzu fight. I wonder what Cyclone. He might actually pop on in a second.
He's in the waiting room, so if you want to go drag him in.
I mean, he's certainly welcome if he wants to come in. That's where we're looking now at dark screen to see if he traverses.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. GG, Cyclone.
Thank you.
Cyclone. So,
And
I don't know. Is Dark gonna finish the run? He looks like he's just stopped.
I think he might be checking the guide, maybe?
Maybe he's going back to the guide. Cyclone, it was honestly that bird. Let's talk about that bird.
It was such a good run. That was such a good run. And then Zoo.
That was a floor 1 that had a chance to steal PB.
Yeah.
Until that bird.
I only lost by my PB by 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
I was looking at him like, he's going into this fight at 2 hours exactly. If the bird fight goes according to plan, that's 2:02. He's still got a chance at 2:04.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, I knew your time was good because you got out of Ice Pyramid at a really fast time.
That was a ridiculous gold split. That was like a 50-second gold split on Ice Pyramid.
It was just a clean 39-minute Ice Pyramid, which is a real good pace.
Not
considering how many like 3 encounters I got in like Bone Dungeon.
That was how unlucky was that? I remember I was like, you know, he's gonna be kicking himself. He doesn't have the seeds. He's seen like 5 of these now. It's ridiculous. But you know, all things considered, you got really nice RNG in the worm room. I think you got like 4 double worm fights.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
it seemed about average.
Yeah. I mean, got out of there at 1 hour exactly, more or less. So, you know, the timing that you want getting out of that room.
Yeah.
And then,
like I said, overall, I was very, very happy with the run. It was a floor 1 that I barely lost by PB.
I mean, you were probably okay in terms of the race's perspective, but did you get worried when you were walking to floor 2 and you still hadn't seen the bird?
I was getting a little worried. I could tell I was ahead by the chat because I had the chat open. I didn't have the race open though.
Right. Word is the word, so
yeah.
It's the final word on basically whether or not you can PB or have a shot at world record. And this time it was a no.
He gave you a chance to PB. He gave you that opportunity,
he did.
But the second bird took it away.
Mm-hmm.
With
the first bird fight was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he did anything to me.
It was a single fight. I think the only thing that was a little lacking is that Kaylee had to do a lot of perma healer, but I mean,
yeah, that's fine though.
That's average more or less. So, but then second bird decided to take it away. It was like, how dare you try to PB with the floor 1?
I like how he let me get 1 hit away from killing him, and
yeah, were you counting?
Then I wasn't counting, but it felt like 1 hit.
It was you were at 8.
9.
You were at 8 trying to land the 9th when you sky attacked you, but if he doesn't sky attack you there and you live, he psych shields on his
psych shield next turn, yeah.
Yeah, so you have him, but he decided he wasn't gonna let you have it, so
yeah. Bird is literally the trolliest enemy in the game, and yet the also the main reason why, you know, he's just the most annoying enemy in the game. At least you let Ben Haxley get some KFC twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anything else about the run stick out to you? We talked about the very odd Bone Dungeon 5 triple encounter. We talked about, regardless, still having a super fast Ice Pyramid. Anything else you think about the run? You had a 1 Sphinx, right? The battlefield was like a 1 Sphinx?
It was 1 Sphinx. I think it was 1 Sphinx and 3 unexpected encounters.
Yeah, and three Electropulses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was. Let's see, that was 11 seconds slower than my gold split, which was 0 Sphinxes.
0 Sphinxes? Yeah, I think even with 0 Sphinxes, having 3 unexpecteds can still be pretty close to...
Yeah, that was, I think I was 0 Sphinxes and 3 unexpecteds on my best.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I don't know, looking at, so you're now 1-1, Cyclone.
Yes.
With the unfortunate happenstance of what happened in your first race.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Though, my time now is better than Marsh's. I don't know what that means, but...
I mean, I think it's still gonna go by group score, so maybe, hopefully, Marsh... Well, actually, no, even if he drops one, he has the first tiebreaker on you because he won your race.
Right,
so...
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll probably come out of the group second, but I think even coming out of the group second is fine because I think you actually we reseed. I'll talk to Diesel about this later, but I think we reseed based on timing and not based on group score.
Oh, really?
So, as Dark goes through the top stairwell of Kazuzu's Tower, floor 7, so we can see already that he doesn't have a floor 6. So you can baby rage chat if you want. But it's I mean, sub 210's probably gonna be like top 4 or top 5, I think, in the group in terms of overall times. And maybe, luckily, you'll get another floor 6 or floor 1 and have another shot at PBA.
Mm-hmm. Well, my PB is a floor 6. So, I was actually really excited that I was doing so well despite not getting a floor 6.
Not getting a... Yeah. It was a really good... I was actually very... it was a great run. It was running real well for you. Even with the floor 1, I was like, I think you might still have a chance. I thought when you picked up the Aegis Shield that you had already mentally checked out of your PB.
No.
But,
I mean, it kind of seemed like I wasn't going to at that point, but then the rest, like, everything else went well after that point.
Yeah.
And there were probably 4 or 5 encounters the Aegis Shield came in handy in, so...
Yeah, it turned out to work out for you in a couple of fights, so can't complain about it in hindsight. But your last race is against Fred, right?
No. Fred's not in my group.
Who is the last? Oh wait, I remember now. It's
J-Card.
J-Card, yeah. I haven't seen J-Card practicing. I don't know what his PB is in.
I have no idea myself.
I'll take a look at it later, I guess. Yeah, but slightly unfortunate, I guess, of the little bad RNG, the first race against Silver.
Yeah, that first race, I'm still a bit salty about how bad that run was.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the bird's gonna decide. I get the sense that the bird is gonna decide. Both birds are going to decide a couple of races.
My race against Marsh, it wasn't even the bird. I mean, the bird didn't help by any means. But like the ice golem fight, I lost like a minute, probably 2 minutes, because he went faster than PB on the last turn. Like I remember I watched the VOD back, and I had him in the final phase before Marsh, but then he killed me, and then Marsh got out of the ice pyramid a minute 40 faster than me.
I mean, it is, that fight can be pretty trolly. Yeah, and I have had that occasion too, where Benjamin drops his bombs first. I'm like, wait, you weren't supposed to do that. Why did you do that? So Dark's got his flare spell now. He's going back to... Well, actually, he doesn't have to take these fights now because he went through the top staircase and saw that. I guess no.
If it's a 4, 5, or 6, I think he still needs it.
Yeah, if it's a 4, 5, or 6, he needs it.
Well, it's not 6, but yeah.
we'll see. Dark. I mean, all things considered, he's doing a good job for his first ever single segment 80%. So he is. There are times where it looks like he is struggling to remember what you should do with certain formations, but. Got another race though coming up in about. I don't know if we'll get to see the end of Dark's run because we've got another race coming up in about 45 minutes. It is Group E play. Silver versus Fred, I think.
Yes, it is. And well, I gotta root for Fred because I gotta face Silver next.
Oh.
Well, hey, it's for the fact that, yeah, I lost miserably my first match. I've got 2 left to go, so it's both against Silver and Fred, so, heck.
So, I mean, that would make the group pretty interesting, because that would potentially be 3 runners with, because I'm confident, I'm pretty confident that Opus is probably going to win that group.
Yes, Opus is. He's got 2 wins right now, though technically, if Fred beats him, that would make 2-1.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think even with 2 wins now, I think he's probably going to be safe. Like,
did, Dark check to see if he got that?
Dark, he went top set of steps on floor 6, so he saw it, and then went down.
I'm a fan of doing that, you know, just because of being a newer runner, and I just like wanted to straight up know, it's like, okay, I've got it. It just takes the weight off your shoulder. But yeah, Opus has probably got it from our group, but if Red can beat him, that'll make it 2-1.
It would be, so if you're rooting for Fred to beat Silver in tonight's match, it's probably gonna help you the most if then Fred loses to Opus, and then potentially it's a bunch of, like, everyone fighting for second place instead of a mess at first. Yeah, but still, because I'm improving. I'm slowly but surely improving. So, I kind of want to give myself a shot. It's not floor 5. Alright, ready the baby rages, boys and girls. It could get worse before it gets better.
It's like pulling off a band-aid. Do you want it fast, or do you want it very, very slow and painful? Dark is doing quite well.
Well, we've got you here, though, Cyclone. I mean, tell the community about your Mystic Quest running experience. Like, how long have you been running this game now?
I started practicing 3 weeks before this tournament.
Okay, that's 2 more weeks of experience than I've got.
I mean, it went well. After I finally got a save file at the end of the game, because I didn't have one yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Basically, I spent that time learning where everything I need to go and everything, and then my first run was like a 2:35.
That's pretty good for a first actual clocked time.
Yeah. Well, it was like that was like a 4.6, and then like 2 out of my next 3 runs were 4.6, and I've gotten like 2 cents.
I mean, that's the magic of this game, right? You live and die by floor 6.
Well, live and die by floor 6, Pazuzu, and
boys, it's not floor 4 either.
Well,
Za has been the bane of my existence on literally every run.
Okay, out of all 3 of my runs, I have literally had the worst gatekeeper. I've had the freaking behemoth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I died to behemoths today.
You did, and you still managed a 39 ice pyramid. That's how insanely good that run was up until, like, that whole earth crystal was awful, but that water crystal was really good.
I mean, I literally was, last race I commentated, your Cyclone. If you go back and watch, my partner on that one even mentioned what his PB, he had died to the behemoth 7 times straight. And still PB'd.
I remember hearing that.
Which, by the way, did you ever go back and watch that VOD?
I did.
Which
is why I'm still that's why I'm still a little upset about that match, because it was like I would go ahead and then I'd get to a boss and then I'd fall behind. And then I'd get ahead and get to a boss and fall behind. It was just that the entire run.
Well, you had bad boss RNG, and he had bad mob RNG. So I guess it balanced out.
Yeah, and then we go into zoo at the same exact time.
Remember, this was after
Which is ridiculous.
Yes. And this was after Mars had actually accidentally exited.
Yeah. And then there's a floor 5 versus floor 6, and it was a good race.
You had a floor 5, he had a floor 6.
What did we determine? It was like, how many more encounters?
I forget what it was. Hold on a minute. I think some DDR noob actually posted that in the Discord.
14 encounters. Floor 5 is 14 more encounters than floor 6.
And
sorry, 13 more encounters.
I forget what he said about floor 2. Wait, no, to use his exact words was I can't actually say his exact wording on that one.
Yeah.
But it's true. Whatever you heard, it's true.
21 plus the walking time.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing from Silverfire.
So that's 13 for 5, so that means it's 11 for 4, and that means that 1 is what?
1 is 12 encounters.
12? Okay. Okay, so it is a floor 1 Pazuzu. He also gets to the elevator on floor 2 and doesn't see the bird there, so this is now, I think, like the 3rd or 4th race I have seen, maybe just the 3rd, where Pazuzu has ended up on the same floor for both racers.
I know there was the double floor 6 one.
Yeah, that was my first race against JC. It was double floor 6.
Which still is very good. I know my first race was, what, a floor 6, and I think my opponent, which was actually Opus, I think he had a floor 2, maybe? If I'm remembering correctly?
Looks like Dark is struggling to fight the last, or I guess the second to last fight, because he has to fight one Dorito after accident. In Pazuzu's tower.
Always worth the actual testing on the potions. Oh, that's actually halfway decent.
It's not good enough. We need the Mobius crest.
Yeah. I don't know why Steam just came up. You're gonna see that in a sec. I have absolutely no idea.
There's the crest on that one. I mean, I wonder whether or not you could buy more than 40 of them. And whether or not that would actually help.
See anything good on the Steam? The summer Steam sale opened, didn't it, today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Dark working through a couple more bird fights, and then he'll have his
Good luck.
his Pazuzu fight.
It seems the way we glitch it, the only things you can put in your inventory are the crests and the coins. Doesn't affect anything else. Probably if we change the items at the top, it would change everything else around. Not 100% certain how that glitch works.
I know it's worth testing on some things. I mean, I've always wondered whether or not you could actually adjust it starting with cure potions because you can pick them up in, the second town after the life water thing.
But you need to have the 4 inventory slots full. I think it's like one memory location that like increments when you buy the cure potions to a number, and that number encodes what items you have.
I don't know. I just wondered if you would glitch out, just buying 0, looping it over with that, whatever messing up the next item is. If you could then just go buy more cure potions, that would take it up as a 4th slot. Call me crazy for actually wanting to try crazy things. But still.
Bird fight started now by Dark. He's got
He's got it.
He's doing a lot of cautionary manual casting, which is always to be expected the first time you play.
True. Throwing bombs against the wall.
The only resistance Ruben has is fire.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, if you want the Doom resist, you gotta do Tristram. Phoebe's got some stuff, and
Phoebe has petrification, Tristram is death, and Phoebe has it's like paralysis, sleep.
And drain.
It's a lot of stuff. It's drain. It's a lot of stuff. Because she has a shield. No one else has a shield.
That's true. Though the nice thing is you can actually get that just off of the second, of just your first encounter with her. She's only missing like one item. I forget what that is, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just the shield. She does. Yeah, it's just the ether shield. If she has it, then she has all those resistances.
Yeah, it's more the fact that wouldn't you just be able to do her, have the second resist there, and then once you pick her up the 4th one, she would automatically have it there?
No, because if you try to go from her Aquaria, like, if you try to go from Phoebe 1, she doesn't have the shield, which is where most of her resists come from.
Just wondering.
He's taking a lot of time thinking about his inputs here.
Yeah, it's definitely signs of his first ever single segment. He's got the book, like, right next to it.
I see. One thing I realized during this run is the Aegis Shield gives wind resistance as well, doesn't it?
No, Gaia's armor does. Aegis gives
Gaia's armor, okay, yeah, I get those around the same time, so yeah.
So...
I was like, I have wind resistance now.
Yeah, so wind and lightning you're good against. The shield also gives you paralysis, which is pretty helpful.
Yeah, that did come in handy a lot.
Wonder if he's gonna... No, he's not gonna go all the way. I think actually if he had gone for arrow, flare in that spot, I think he'd kill. Oh, greedy seed. That was probably not the play.
No, probably should have healed.
Yeah, that's the fight. Just needs to remove the petrified from Kaylee. That fight's probably okay.
Yeah, because Pazuzu doesn't have a whole heck of a lot that can one-shot you at full health.
He's got a crit.
He has a crit.
That's all he's got. If he doesn't crit, he's probably okay there.
So, on the other hand...
I mean, we all saw what happened in your run, Cyclone. It was, unfortunate to say the least.
I mean, that might have even been a record on the number of times I've died to Zoo.
He made a point of emphasis to keep you there for as long
Yeah,
as possible.
I know.
But we're probably gonna transfer over to the other race in probably, I'm gonna say 20-ish minutes.
Who's playing in that one?
I think it is. I just looked at it. Silver versus Fred.
Ah,
Yeah,
that should be good.
yeah. And
Actually, I don't know what Fred's time is.
I don't think Fred has a posted one yet. I'll take a look. He doesn't have one on speed run yet. I know he's run it a couple times to practice, and he's got his online guide that he's been working on, but
Oh, is that his? The one with the pictures?
yeah, the one with the pictures. It's a nice looking guide. I think it's a little oversimplified, but it does its job pretty well.
It needs to use more multi-gears.
Yeah, he just seems a little... I think he seems particularly gun-shy about letting Kaylee be Kaylee and running an auto. There's a crit. Ouch. Well, down goes Kaylee, and that probably means this fight's gonna have to reset again, unfortunately.
It looks like Dark is getting super trolled by this fight.
It's not necessarily trolling, he's just getting into some bad situations and he's not letting Kaylee work himself out of it. Kaylee has some issues when you don't control her actions, but in this fight in particular, you can probably get away with letting her run in auto for a large section of it.
Sometimes. Then again, you also sometimes get her like, okay, I'm going to attack! When essentially both characters are fully healed and she could use a spell.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's the only thing you have to be careful of here, right? Is that Kaylee casts arrow while the shield is up. But you can work yourself around it. It's like Dark is struggling because he's those times when Kaylee has to heal and it's actually healed both of them, he's using life on one of them. So
yeah.
Kaylee gets to low HP and then like something unfortunate happens to Kaylee.
True, but he's nearly got it. He's nearly got it. Though, he's still on pace to do a decent time. We just all get trolled by the bird. The bird just loves to give you the bird. But I think he's got it now. But either way, I do have to, give props to Dark for actually, during his first, full segment. Yes.
And the fight's over. 2:43. Not a bad time for your first time doing this.
Yeah, I know. For me, first time completing it, I've definitely, cut down some time for myself, but then again, it is what it is there. I just wish, unlike, is this the only dungeon that basically, once you kill the boss, all the mobs don't get erased? I mean, I know most of them don't have that, but why is the tree so special in that?
The tree is special because the tree is like, the agreement you make with the tree when you talk to him is that you have to kill all the monsters. And what he really means is kill the big monster because
the rest can just, the rest will vanish.
Yeah.
But now, I just hope Dark does not do the same thing that I did at one point, which was figure out how to lock my game by picking up an actual treasure.
He also needs to not use the potions before getting ribbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
He checks, he sees that he's got the cure potions. We're good. Alright, he hasn't used it yet. We're good.
He's going to talk to Otto.
Okay, we're good.
We're good!
I must be behind you again.
Yeah, we're looking at the commentary feed, which is a couple seconds ahead.
Yeah. But I do have to say, though, that, I do know if you actually pick up any other items once you've actually, done this part, you will actually remove the items. But oddly enough, you'll still have the Thunder Rock. It's like, what, the Thunder Rock and the Venus Key? Because I've picked up, like, a pack of 3 cure potions. Then again, I do wonder what happens if you actually were to dupe an item after, doing the seed thing. If you were to actually dupe another seed, I wonder what would happen.
Really, Cyclone? Relaxing with a little...
Tetris?
I mean...
It's Tetris! I know for me, I'll relax by pulling out my 3DS and playing, by playing Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy, Curtain Call, the second one, which has the music to this game in there.
It's Dark. bombing Spencer's place to bring the ship closer.
Yep. Closer, but just not close enough. Just have to take that time to go pick up Max Cap. Which is sad, because it's like, really? It takes you, what, in-game time, like, what? It's still far enough off that it's just like, what, an hour, I guess, in-game time? Or something like that? Just to pick up a hat?
Just to get a hat. It's a real important hat. I mean...
to be precise, it's not so much the hat, it's just talking with Kaylee to trigger the scene, because essentially, if you can get there already, you can have the hat in your inventory.
It's true, but you gotta talk to Kaylee. Kaylee's the only one who knows how to reel that ship to shore.
Yeah. Then again, I'd really love to actually figure out a few things with this game. Yeah, I'll probably have to take the time every now and then to test it. But still, it's a fun game, considering it is baby's first RPG. Then again, I still have to laugh that they gave away a free copy of the guide for this game with every purchase.
Struggling to figure out what to do here with this formation, but
there is an actual guide to that I forget who actually Opus sent it to me. That someone else had sent it to him, which essentially is a Google Docs thing of just in each area what to do with each formation. They basically gave a Cliff Notes version of El Magus' guide for every enemy. And just cliff noted it so that you can see it all at a glance.
I think that might have been JC, but I'm not sure. Regardless, that's probably the most difficult fight to work around. The rest of them are looking for 2 Thanatoses and trying to remove both of them. That's the way Dark has set it up, is probably not the way to do it, but should still work because he did spot removal on one of the Thanatos with the arrow.
True, but Dark's got this. Dark has got this. I'm sure he's got this. Even with looking at the guide every now and then, he's still going to have a decent time. If he's lucky, it'll be a sub 330, I think. Well, if he's real lucky. Which is actually not the slowest time on the leaderboard. I think Opus did give me an actual good thing to say on this one. No matter what your one is, if it's actually better than your current PB, just send it in.
Man, I think we're going to see a lot of PBs throughout this entire tournament.
I agree with you there. You think we might actually see you or some DDR noob actually PB? No, then again,
DDR noob PBs, oh man.
We're probably the two of us and Feral Pig for sure at the mercy of RNG. Because it's almost impossible for us to PB now sans 4-6.
Well, if you do PB, then you'd have a shot at the world record.
I mean, everyone has a shot at the world record when you hit the timer at go, but
true.
A lot of things can happen between then and hitting the timer to stop, so
Very, very true.
With that flare, he makes it out of the ship. He's gonna go grab the armor and talk to Captain Mac.
Who needs his hat?
Please give him his hat, Dark, please. There we go.
I wonder what would happen if you didn't have his hat with him.
I mean...
If you somehow blitzed away the hat, would you actually... You know, could you just give him an invisible hat? Look here you go. Here's a hat. And it's nothing.
We could probably find out. Like glitching our inventory after we get on the ship.
I've done that. I actually have done that. I think I actually gave him no hat.
That makes sense.
But then again, even without that, but the problem was they didn't have a crest to get back.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you can't exit here. Actually, there is an overworld map for that spot.
Yeah. Though I would like to see if, like, I do know if you pick up more cure potions, it will loop that around again. So, makes you wonder, though.
Well, when you get more potions, it's not like it's adding to the number; it's setting it to a certain thing again. So, if I don't know if it was you who was talking to the Discord or somebody else say they bought 1, then bought 18, and it worked out because they picked up the coin. After you buy 1, just buy 19 in Fireberg, and that sets it correctly.
True. Though I wonder, though, if you actually were to dupe a seed after you've got the 99, would that affect anything? Because you're technically adding 1 to that, so would that reset the value or not? Because normally you're affecting the cure potion slot, not the other thing. I mean, plus also the simple fact that it tries to add a spot to that because for the cure potions when you have no open slots, I think is what it's adjusting. Which is why I still want to see what happens if you actually could manipulate it with 2 of the same item. But, yeah. Something I need to test out sometime. So, looks like Dark is headed towards Doom Castle. Or aka the Crack of Doom. I think he's having trouble remembering where to go.
Oh man, we're going on the rooftops? Oh man. I forget what's even up there. There's a kid up there.
I didn't even realize you could get up there.
It's been a long time since I've played this game casually.
Same here. But it'll be nice. It'll be nice. I know Dark's probably gonna feel exhausted once he's done, but elated that he actually, you know, finished.
Oh yeah, you can leave the town through the top. I forgot that.
We forget a lot of things. I know Penguin was complaining all the times that people were walking when they could be teleporting.
I did that a lot in my last race. I would like take 3 steps and be like, oh yeah. Also today and on my last race, I exited Ice Pyramid when I entered it, like moving to the right.
It happens. It happens. I mean, it's not like, you know... I mean, what do you think the worst time to exit, you know, on accident is?
Pazuzu's Tower on your way down before you hit the switch. I've done that.
I'm glad I haven't, but he's now entering Doom Tower, or Doom Castle, or... I forget its name.
It's Doom Castle. I had a floor 1, and I was on floor 2 up close to hitting the switch, and I exited. And the only way to get back there is to go all the way back up to floor 7 and come back down.
Fighting all the mobs again?
Fighting all the mobs again.
You.
Yep.
This game is supposed to be for babies, and yet it is hard as anything. I wouldn't call it hard, it's just amusing.
I just need to move the exit spell to the last slot in the white list. That'll fix everything.
This game. And looks like Dark is considering the Aegis Shield?
He might not know where to go. The fast way of getting up to...
I know I'm still learning that strat, but still.
Just come in through the top, and then as soon as you can, hold left. That's it.
Yeah. Come on, Dark, you got this. I mean, he's actually making good time, you know, for it being his first full segment of the game, you know, as a run. He's thinking about it.
Wonder if he's aware he has to bomb it. Oh no. He might not be aware.
Ouch.
He'll probably find out here shortly because he has to.
Yeah.
To get to the boss.
Better question. Once he finds out, does he go back for the shield?
Okay, he's actually made it to the platform. Does he commit to...
Does he know that you have to use bombs?
Does he have a bomb?
I think he does.
He has 2. Wow.
Okay, just enough.
Wow.
Guess we're not getting the shield, guys. Guess we're going all in.
Yep, he's all in. I really wish you could actually get a back, you know, give that, you know, walk behind a mob and actually get them a back attack. Actually get an automatic first strike.
Lands the exit. Fight's pretty much set from here. One down, 3 to go.
get a short break in the amazing music that is Doom Castle here.
Very true.
And we're back to Doom Castle music.
Then again, I'm a fan of the music you get on the rope bridge and Mount Gales.
Oh, that's pretty good.
This game has some amazing music. Considering it's a Final Fantasy game that was not done by Nobuo Uematsu, it's still pretty good. Then again, I think he was working on 6 at the time?
I see the next commentators in the waiting room, so I wonder if we are about to switch over.
Silver and Fred haven't opened their streams yet, so I don't know.
I know Fred said something about his kids fighting, so that might, he might run a little bit late. At least in our group, Discord.
It's so nice getting so many first strikes throughout this.
Yeah, that's huge benefit to
them only putting back the original mobs.
Yeah, okay, he almost forgot to hit the switch.
Don't walk away, please!
Sometimes when I run this, I'm like, oh god, did I actually hit the switch?
I have to mentally think to myself, I'm like, I'm not going back, but I think I hit it. I'm pretty sure I hit it.
It's better to double check that, 2 seconds to check versus getting all the way to where you would need to leave and then, oh crap, I forgot to hit the switch. I heard the Legend of Zelda Randomizer tournament finally got to its finals.
Yes, I believe Ajnab and Christos Owen are the 2 finalists.
Yes, they are. Good luck to both of them, considering that they're doing another tournament in August.
Drop base, the answer to your question is, you get exit after you finish the ice pyramid. So the first 2 bosses, the ice golem and the skull rex, or flamerous rex, because I think that's the first one. Skull rex is the second one. Don't have flags that say you can't exit that monster. And so when you fight their refights, the skull rex and the stone golem, they preserve that flag. They don't care about exit being a spell that can be cast because it wasn't a thing that mattered back then. And so as a result, you can cast exit on them.
Scarus Rex is a weird one though, because he's not undead.
I don't understand how that works either. But, Life Flare is good, and we're just going to use it and be happy.
But Flamerous Rex is. It doesn't make any sense.
Look. All right. We can't have everything, alright?
And we're not the people that programmed this game. No, those people get paid a lot more money than we do, and they could half-ass it.
Well, I mean, questionable, given that we're talking about a game that was made early 90s, and inflation being what it was.
Yeah, I guess, but at the same point, it's like, I've heard one of the funniest quotes ever from that supposedly the director for this game said, which was, it was like making a Game Boy game on the SNES.
Yeah, pretty much. It feels so much like Legend 3.
Oh, hey, I've beaten Legend 3, so it was a good game.
I actually haven't played it. I've played 2. But I've seen plenty of speedruns of 3.
I owned a copy of 3 when I was younger. It's a fun game, even as a casual game. I mean, heck, it actually allowed me to understand how Final Fantasy VII existed, you know, when it came out in the US. Because I did not know about Final Fantasy Adventure, aka the first game for the Secret of Mana series. I knew about Legends 1, 2, and 3. I had played, you know, 1, I had played 2, and I had played 3, you know, aka 1, 4, and 6 repeatedly, so that added up to the next game being 7, so hey.
Stone Golem fight time. Kitten Mittens. I mean, Dark is essentially running this for the first time right now live on stream. So he's using a lot of his time to make sure that he has done everything correctly. He's just being very particular about the details of the run. That's why he's over an hour slower.
Doing better than me. You know, then again, for me it's always the small mistakes. I'd rather, okay, I won't check, I'll just take it, you know, for granted that, okay, I can figure it out because I've played it before as a kid. You know, thank you renting the game for a weekend and actually, you know, later on just beating it using save states, so drawing on my own memory. Also, there is an actual thing on GameFAQs that actually gives you a that someone made a map listing for all the locations, including in Dune Castle. That ninja feels so lonely. No one ever goes to see him. I'm serious. When do you go and fight that ninja?
I think it's just in case the player forgot that the darker statues are the ones you need to poke.
You know, the ones with the glowing eyeballs?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
Look, man, this game's made for kids.
I get it. I don't understand why the glowing eyeballs are there for a reason.
Well, at least it's not a giant dog statue with glowing eyes that explodes and launches a giant pyramid to the other side of the world. And props to anybody that actually gets that game reference.
I didn't hear the whole thing. You said something about a pyramid on the other side of the world?
Okay, I said about it's better than a giant dog statue that explodes, launching a, you know, that allows someone to pick up a glowing pyramid and throw it to the other side of the world.
I don't get it. I don't know that one.
Secret of Evermore.
See, I haven't played that.
Oddly enough, it was made by Square's US team. It's similar to Secret of Mana.
Okay,
It's
he's going
kind of fun.
backward. Okay, maybe he's figured it out. Yep, that's the path. There you go.
It's always fun to find all those little obscure RPGs for this system. I mean, I've actually played... God, what is it? I think its Japanese name is what? Slapstick? AKA what? Robotrack is its US name?
I remember watching the speedrun of RoboCheck.
I had a friend who owned a copy of it and gave it to me, you know, later on because he couldn't think of what to give me for a birthday gift. Then again, like, look, I'm getting out of, you know, gaming. Here, pick 3 of my games, and essentially, what? I basically chose that one and a few other small things, but it was fun.
Is the time, guys?
Well, looks like we're gonna move to our other match of the night. Bach and Teef have the call for that, so
Yep.
we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna wish Dark the best of the luck with the rest of his run. We're gonna cut to the second race of the night in Group E. Later, guys.
Good luck, you guys. Good luck.